It's that time. Wow. I don't know if I'm ready for this one. Today is Melanie Gibb's testimony. Now, we did listen to Melanie Gibb when she was in Lori's, and it's going to be different to see her now. We in the stew, baby, and it's good to see you. You guys have another few days to enter the giveaway. We're announcing the giveaway on the 15th. So you will have a winner announced on the 15th, and we will be excited to do that with you. Just don't forget, members are getting a giveaway, and our main channel, everybody is going to have a giveaway. So there'll be 4 winners total. 2 people in our main channel, and then 2 members will both get selected. So I'm excited. That gives 4 people an opportunity to win. I'm going to admit it to myself. I put on my flannel today. I was so excited. And if I put my arms in front of me hard enough, I'll rip the back. Okay? It's going to rip. So if it comes off, it comes off. It's not too bad right now. And it is what it is. So a lot of people have been asking before we get started. A lot of people have been asking. Tess just also said a lot of people think this is new. Some people have been like, why are you watching this? Why are you addressing this again? Why can't you move on? I'm just going to simply say I've tried to explain it the best I can, just so you guys are on the same page, so you guys don't think I'm being rude or dismissing you. The truth is I am working on some projects, and this is something we were supposed to do months ago after Lori's trial, and I was going to try to knock it out earlier this year, and I ended up having the TIA strokes, and I didn't even get to go to Lori's sentencing and say my piece in person. So I basically just allowed it to slide in a sense. And the reason I did that is because I didn't want to, oh wow, we got a different camera this year or this time. I might have to move myself, but anyway, long story short, it's simply just to let you guys know this isn't a harboring situation. This isn't, I can't get over it. I can't get past it. I just want to say 2 things out of just love and respect for our community. Number 1, there's never going to be me just getting over it and it's over and it's done. It doesn't mean I'm going to go back to it all the time. This is the first time I've ever seen Chad's trial. It's a lot more detailed. Even people I was talking to in the last couple of days about this trial, it's very different than Lori's. So I'm already learning a lot more information and just kind of in a different place. And then secondly, I am trying to get some of this information out of the way for curiosity so I can move forward, because then I won't have those questions. And then 2, like I said, working on these projects, I'd like to actually know what happened with my family, as rough as it is. Now, we have skipped a couple of people, and only because of the sake of how long this trial truly is. We're really trying to get the perspective of inside. And obviously Melanie Gibb, I know her. I don't know her, if that makes any sense. I have met her a handful of times, and we'll go over some of those encounters. What I don't want to do is try to trash her or make her, this thing. We're just going to try to be really objective and talk about it. So all that being said, let's get to it. Let me put my headphones in. I can't move my arm, and I'm never wearing the flannel again. And if you hear a big rip, it was not intentional. But I do love you guys, and I really appreciate you being here. And thank you for everyone who's being amazing, supportive, and being here daily and going through this with me. It feels just like a big family getting together and kind of just facing something. And yeah, I just can't thank you enough for that. So we're going to get into this. It is 4 hours. As you guys know, though, it doesn't really take us 4 hours. So I might move myself. I don't really know where to go. Colby to the middle? I don't know what to do. All right, let's try this. No, I don't want to be near Chad. What do you guys think about that? I don't know what to do. I'm going to move in a minute. I don't know what to do.
Get ready to call its next witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who will that be?
The state will call Melanie Gibb.
Whoa.
The testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing.
All right, before we commence with testimony, Ms. Gibb, please make sure to answer all of the questions verbally so we make a good record. Try to avoid talking at the same time as any attorney questioning you. And I am going to inquire now that you're under oath. Have you reviewed or watched any of this trial since it started on the court's live stream? Have you talked to anyone else about testimony they gave in this trial so far? All right. With that in mind, then, Ms. Blake, if you'd like to inquire on direct, you may.
Thank you. Would you please state your name and
First
spell
of all,
it for
the
the record?
audio is,
Melanie.
and they really upgraded because I can see everybody now. Unfortunately, we've skipped past all the beginning, so now we immediately can see Chad. But I think maybe that's even more interesting in a sense because he's so dead-faced. But this is every time we've logged in for the last 3 days, it has been a different camera shot. So I think that's interesting. But let's keep going. And the audio sounds a lot better.
Melanie Gibb, MELANIE-GIBB.
Miss Gibb, do you know an individual named Chad Daybell?
I do.
Do you recall approximately when you met him?
I believe it was the summer of 2017.
Do you recall where you met him?
I met him at a get-together that was like a camping environment.
What?
Did you talk to him at that event?
I did.
Did you stay in close contact with him after that?
No.
Do you recall meeting an individual named Lori Vallow?
Yes.
I am interested. I don't remember what she said about how they met. So this is interesting to me, and I'm going to write some things down. So give me 1 second. All right, let's keep going.
Meet her.
I met her in a church building where I was given a class, and she was in the audience.
Do you recall approximately when that would have been?
I believe October 2018.
And just so you guys know, the court feeds audio is its own, as you know. Like when we watch court, it's court TV. Whatever we watch, it's their audio. I can only turn it up or down a certain amount, but it's full on here. I will turn on the subtitles for you, but they are a little wild. They're not usually correct.
And do you recall when you met her, who approached
In
whom?
front of it. I can't
She
win
approached
today.
me.
Sorry.
When you first met her, did you end up striking up a friendship?
Yes.
And did you stay in pretty consistent contact with her, at least initially after meeting her?
Yes.
Do you
I'm
recall
excited
going
what
to an
she says
event
about this.
with Miss Vallow towards the end of October of 2018?
Yes.
Do you recall when that was?
It was in October. I would say about a few weeks after I met Lori. And yes, we went to St. George, Utah.
Do you recall why you went to St. George, Utah?
So from what I observed, they jumped into a deep level sisterhood friendship. Like the second we had met, they had already been deep in. So I've always questioned this relationship in general. Whoops. Is it going? Where's the audio? Oh, I muted it.
Oh.
My bad.
He was selling his books and giving a talk.
Did you approach him at any point?
Yeah, we talked.
Were you present when, or let me back up. Did you observe Mr. Daybell and Miss Vallow together?
Yes.
Do you know if that was the first time they had met?
Yes, it was.
Were you part of introducing them?
I was, we walked into the building together, and I can't remember if I introduced her or if she introduced herself. I can't recall.
And when you say we walked into the building, is that referring to you and Lori?
Me and Lori and several other women.
And Mr. Daybell or Chad Daybell was already present?
Correct.
Throughout the conference, did you see Mr. Daybell again?
Yes,
Did you have an opportunity to observe Lori and Chad together?
I did.
What observations, if any, did you make?
They communicated a lot,
How's that?
and they were very interested in communicating about the things that they were learning and talking about. Seemed to be friendly.
I fixed it.
And when you say they were communicating a lot, did you see them engaged in conversation together?
I did.
Did it appear to be deep conversation?
Yes.
Did they appear to be focused on each other?
Yes.
What I don't like
Was there anything else about it that caught your
what I
attention?
don't like about this situation is simply that there's no way she didn't know and wasn't like a part of it. It seems like she's trying to paint the picture that they were just like off in their own world, but I don't think that was the case.
They seemed to be attracted to each other. That caught my attention.
And at the time that you're there in October, do you know if Lori Vallow was married?
Yes, she was.
Had you ever met her husband at that point?
I had.
And who was her husband?
Charles Vallow.
Do you know if Chad Daybell was married at that point?
Yes, I do, and he was.
And do you know who his wife was?
Tammy Daybell.
Had you ever met Tammy?
No.
If you guys want, I can make your chat way bigger and maybe that'll be more visible.
After that conference, did you travel back to Arizona with Lori?
I did.
Do you recall sometime after the conference talking to her
Maybe that'll
about
be
what
better.
she and Chad discussed?
Yes.
What were some of the things she shared with you?
He shared with her, according to what she shared with me, that
Your Honor, if I may respond.
Grounds to the objection?
Did he object?
Ms. Blake, you may respond.
Your Honor, it's a statement of a party opponent as well as a charged co-conspirator.
All right, the court does find that's an exception to the hearsay rule that applies here, so the witness can answer the question. Objection's overruled.
And do you recall the question?
yes, she said that they talked about multiple lives, and I believe she talked about, how many lives that she had lived on this earth, and that she indeed was married to someone named Moroni in a previous life. Those kind of conversations. Yeah.
Those are
And
those are
prior
not
to meeting Chad
normal
Daybell,
conversations. Let's just put it out there. That's not a normal conversation. Even for LDS people, that's not a normal conversation, because I've never heard the LDS church ever mention living multiple times, ever.
did Lori tell you did Lori ever talk about multiple probations before that or multiple lives?
She did.
So she had some interest in that subject matter already.
Yes.
But when you talked to her about her conversation with Chad at that conference, she told you Chad gave her some additional information.
That's right.
Did she say anything regarding what Chad had told her about she and Chad?
That they had been married in previous probations.
Oh, how smooth that was, huh? Oh yeah, no. Lori, I just met you, but you need to know, I was married to you multiple times, but it took me a veil of seeing you walk in to sign my book. It's so stupid. Like, if you're a grown woman and someone walks up and says, we've been married in multiple different lives, and you've never met them, and they pitch that, you have to be out of your mind to believe them. Because why wouldn't you immediately go, well, that doesn't make any sense. I don't feel that way. That doesn't even line up with my belief system. How do you fall for that?
Did Lori seem receptive of that information?
She did.
And we talked about you'd met Charles before, correct?
That's right.
Had you ever met Lori's children?
Yes,
And specifically, did you ever meet Tylee Ryan?
I did.
Did you ever meet JJ Vallow?
I did.
Do you recall where you met
You better watch yourself right now, Melanie. This is where I will not play with you. You better watch what you say right now.
them?
What up,
In
Brandon?
Lori's house.
Did you have an opportunity to observe Lori with her children?
I did.
What observations, if any, did you make about her and Tylee?
They had a difficult relationship. They didn't necessarily get along very well.
And what
wonder why.
about Lori and JJ?
I could tell she had a lot of affection for him, but he was autistic, and he seemed to be very busy for her.
What? He was too busy to have a relationship?
We talked a little bit about you met Lori in October of 2018. And initially, how often did you two have contact?
In the beginning, it was almost daily, with the exception probably of a day or two a week. And that was probably for maybe about a month or two.
Do you recall approximately when the contact wasn't as frequent or what was going on at that time?
Yes, it was after January when she started to move around. She moved multiple times, so I couldn't
She
keep in-
skipped right over the Christmas thing. That's when they were introduced. So, not obviously every little detail is going to be part of this, but as you guys know from this whole situation, we had our last, and this is a really hard subject because it's you never know. This is why I talk about living the moment. You never know when it's your last time with someone. 2018 was the last Christmas I ever had with everybody, and the last time I was with everybody in one room all at the same time. And Lori invited Melanie to come to Christmas, and so Melanie showed up, and no one knew who she was, and this was not new. Lori had always kind of invited someone, one of her friends or someone she was close to from church or something that was alone, which I don't think is wrong. But then Melanie's family showed up, and she had a husband and multiple kids. Well, Melanie, I had never met her, and I've told you guys this story, but I'll tell you again because it's in context. I walk in, and Kelsey's pregnant, about to pop. Kelsey had Riley in February. And so she's end of pregnancy, and Melanie Gibb walks up and is in my face. I mean, when I tell you nose to nose, and is I'm your other mother. I'm a mom to you. And I'm who the frick are you? And then she started rubbing on Kelsey's belly while she was just sitting there, trying to involve herself into just the absolute most boundary crossing you could have, because we didn't know her. and just really forceful, like in your face. And then these two children go and put roller skates on. And we had at that point, so this is where the house where Kelsey and I got married, and it's a one floor, and it's a mansion, and it's very, it's almost like kind of like a curve, almost like an L, less sharp than an L, but kind of like a C or an L, in a sense of like, it goes all the way to their bedroom, and then a really long hallway, and then it kind of curves around the kitchen, and then it curves all the way down to the end to a movie room, and there's multiple rooms in between that. So there's a lot of floor space. So like when I would go over there, I would run with JJ and Bailey, his dog, and we would play. And like that was the thing. Like we'd sprint and be sweating within the first 30 minutes because the house was so big. So we would just chase each other, and Bailey would chase me and JJ. And so you could really, like, if you wanted to exercise, you could run from wing to wing, let's call it that. And they put on roller skates and start roller skating together in the middle of Christmas. And I'm telling you, everybody's here, including her family, who went to the backyard by themselves because it was so uncomfortable, because they weren't really in part of it. And it's mostly my mom's side of the family and all the families together. And they literally start roller skating, giggling, going up and down the hallways while we're all there. And I'm 1? Not even 22 yet. Maybe 22. I don't even know. And we're all thinking what is happening? What the hell? Me and Tylee used to have that, you know, The Office, where someone pans their eyes to the camera? That was me and Tylee. Like, we would be looking at each other and go, what the hell is happening right now? So they were odd from the beginning, from when I even observed them. And it got odder. I guess that's a weird word. It got worse.
Contact with her.
And that would be January of 2019?
Correct.
And to be clear, she wasn't moving around to avoid contact with you.
Right.
But just as she moved around,
Right.
you'd lose track of her?
Well, we wouldn't see each other. Yeah.
Did you still talk to her on the phone?
Yes.
She knew where she was.
And after that first conference in October, do you recall the next time that you saw Chad Daybell?
The next month, November 2018, he came down for a conference in Arizona.
When he came down to Arizona, did his wife come with him?
No.
And at that conference in October, did you ever see his wife, Tammy, there?
No.
When he came down, so he came down to a conference in November in Arizona.
That's right.
Was Lori present for that conference?
Yes.
Outside of the conference, did you see him at any other gathering?
Yes, at her house.
And when you say her house, is that Lori?
That's right.
Was her house in Arizona at the time?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about the gathering?
So the one at her house was a small group of people met before the conference. And so there was, I don't know, maybe 20 people there. And
I didn't even know this was happening. Like, this is so crazy. Like, that's what makes it so wild to me, because it's like, how is this all happening right at the house? Like, she was so weird. Like, it was cultish because it was such a secret, or like such a weird meeting and gathering, and like, that's just so crazy that she was having Chad come to his house. Like, this whole thing, this whole like bringing everybody together is so weird because it was so quick. She didn't know these people. Like, why was Lori so anxious to have these people in her life? It's so weird.
So Lori and her friends were there.
You are her friend.
Did you have an opportunity to observe Lori and Chad together at that meeting or the gathering at her house?
Yes.
What observations did you make?
They talked often with each other. They seemed to be very interested in each other.
Did Lori at any time tell you anything about she and Chad when he was down there in Arizona?
Yes, she told me that they had been married before in previous probations.
Is that when she first shared that information with you?
I believe she shared it with me in St. George. So it's between St. George and November she shared it.
Your response
Did she
to that?
talk about going to the temple with Chad?
She did.
What did she tell you about that?
She told me that they were going to be resealed again like they had been in previous lives together.
And did she tell you that they in fact had gone to the temple?
Yes,
And that was in November, about a month after meeting each other.
that's right.
And she told you the purpose of that was so they could be sealed together again.
That's right.
That didn't ring as odd. You know, you can't just get sealed together. You can't do it like even in the LDS church. You don't just seal each other. You have to go through a whole process through the church. So that just is a dead ringer for this doesn't make sense. I don't understand why you guys are breaking your own lore that you grew up in your religion that you say you believe in and go to church every Sunday and are so faithful to. And then when someone completely makes up a whole idea of one of the actual things you have to go through steps to do, you just accept that as information.
At that time, was Charles still alive?
Yes.
And was Tammy still alive?
Yes.
Was Charles present at the gathering at her house?
No.
Do you know where he was, or did you learn where he was?
He was out of town.
Of course he was.
Do you know what Chad did for a living?
He was a sexton and he wrote books.
A sexton? I'm sorry, what's a sexton? Somebody please tell me in the chat. What's a sexton?
With regard to his books, had you ever read any of his books?
Yes.
Do you know if Lori had read any of his books?
Yes.
Did she seem interested in his books?
Yes.
When Chad was there in November, do you know where he stayed?
The
Stayed at
grave
Lori's
digging
house.
job is called a sexton? Why? Sorry, I'm a question person. I don't understand why he's called a sexton.
And Charles was not there.
Correct.
Did anyone else stay at her house, if you know?
Yes, there were multiple people there.
Were there any other men there?
I don't know if her brother was there, but nobody else that I know of.
And when you say her brother, do you know which brother you're referring to?
Alex.
Did you ever meet any of Lori's other brothers or her other brother?
I don't think so.
Did Lori ever talk to you about her conversations with Chad?
Yes.
Do you know, did Lori ever share with you if she turned to Chad for advice?
She did.
And we talked a little bit about the multiple lives or multiple probations already, correct?
Yes.
At some point, did Chad or Lori share more information about that with you?
Yes.
And which one of them?
They both did.
Do you know which one of them seemed to have the most understanding regarding multiple probations?
Yes, Lori would often call Chad and Chad would give her the information and then she would come back and share it with me and her other friends.
That's what's insane, right? Is that she was going to him asking him for answers. That's definitely like crazy to me because she's just not really that type of person. Like she's not in a respect, as you all know, but I've always known. She doesn't have respect for any kind of like, I don't want to use the word authority, but yes, she doesn't have any respect for authority, but she doesn't like have like a even respect for her own husband. So like to give Chad such a level of spiritual guidance in her life really doesn't make sense to me either, because it's so out of character. And be like, oh, what did God say or what's going on, and like really trust him. It's really weird.
And when she would share the information, would she tell you she got that from Chad?
Yeah.
At some point, did Chad or Lori talk to you about the concept of light and dark?
Yes.
Do you recall who talked to you about that?
Lori shared it with me.
Did she tell you where she got that information from?
She got it from Chad.
What did she share with you about the concept of light and dark?
So if someone was light, they had made contracts with Jesus Christ before they came here. And if they were dark, they had made contracts and promises with Satan.
Hey, Satan, let's write up a contract. Who would do that? Knowing you're in heaven, you know you're gonna go to hell. Let's just stick with me here. And you go, okay, eternal fire or salvation for all eternity. Let me go ahead and go with that guy because he's got a pretty good deal. There's no currency from what we know in heaven. There's no other selling point. So you just chose to be dark. How dumb do you have to be? Who in a enlightened pre-mortal existence with God and living in heaven would choose damnation for all of time and eternity in a contract, like written up contract, rather than following Satan thinking he was right or whatever the case was? But the contract thing is so crazy because a contract is a very specific line of agreement on both sides. You do this, I do this, we agree. That's a contract. That's crazy.
And it was a different scale level of how darker life they were.
And you
So it was a
believed it.
decision before they came here to Earth?
Yes,
Contract?
initially, yes.
And then with regard to the multiple probations, as you learned more about that, what did Lori share with you regarding multiple probations?
That people lived multiple times. And then she would find out, she would try to find out like when that was.
And was there some kind of a rating system or a system to easily identify if someone was light or dark or what level they were?
She would ask him and he would somehow find out, and he would find out, how many times they've been on this planet or any other planets, I guess. And he would just find that out by asking questions the way he did. And then she would share it with us.
She's acting as if she didn't believe it. And I think it's like, it's okay to be like, I was deceived and I believed it. Or I don't know. I just feel like even Zulema in Lori's trial was a little bit more honest with like, yeah, I believed it at the time. It sounds like she's saying it like it's so wild, but you were in it. You were best friends with her. I watched you two interact. You two were in each other's ears right here, just whispering sweet nothings. Like, it was weird. So don't act like you don't know. That's pissed me off.
And the he you're referring to, is that Chad?
Yes.
At some point, were people designated with a number and then either an L or a D?
Correct.
Yeah,
Where would those designations originate?
From Chad.
How?
And if someone was designated a D, did that stand for dark?
Correct.
And the L was for light?
Correct.
She gonna show the list?
At some point, did Lori also share with you that she believed she had a mission here on Earth?
Yes.
What did she share with you she believed her mission to be?
She felt that it was her mission to gather women to the 144,000, and that she would be the leader of it. At some point, she thought she was going to lead that.
And when we talk about the 144,000, what's that in reference to? Could you explain a little bit?
Yes, it's a biblical explanation for a certain amount of people that would go out and gather Israel in the last days and have the power and authority to do that.
Yeah, it's not Lori in the Bible. Just anybody who's not a Bible reader, it does not have any indication of who leads that. There's never even a slight mention. It is like saying it in a general term that that's going to happen in Revelations, if you read Revelations. And in no way, shape, or form is there a indication that there's some woman savior, man savior, or anybody who leads that specifically. Like there is nothing that indicates even the slightest. She just said, oh, that's me that does that on the women's side. Don't know why.
So gathering people in the end times.
Correct.
Do you know where Lori got the idea or the belief that she was meant to be one of the leaders or help gather?
Good question.
I think she got it from herself.
Hello?
Do you know if she ever did she ever tell you if she talked to Chad about that?
She did.
What did she tell you in relation to that, if you recall?
Well, she shared with him what she believed she was, which was the
baby
gatherer
wants
of that.
cookies?
And then he agreed that she was. And so he, told her that that's what her mission was.
Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna let it play, okay?
Do you
Because I have it on
know
my phone. I'll
if
hear it.
Lori was telling other people about light and dark and multiple probations as well?
She was.
Do you know some of the other individuals she shared that with?
Yes. Sulema, Serena, Nicole, and Christina, and Melanie, and just maybe a few other people that are not as significant.
Did she also share these ideas with Alex?
Yes.
Do you know if Chad ever shared these ideas with any of those individuals? If I may respond.
Okay, and I'll note on the record, it didn't pick up on the microphone. It's an objection based on lack of foundation. Ms. Blake, response.
Your Honor, I specifically ask if she knows. I'm asking her personal knowledge.
All right, well, she can answer the question if she knows, but not necessarily go into what she knows, because I do think there's no foundation at this point for what.
Do you know if Chad ever shared those teachings or beliefs with any of those individuals?
Yes.
And did he?
Yes.
Were you present?
Yes.
And again, when Lori would tell you these things, she would explain she received the information from Chad.
Yes.
And we talked about that gathering in November at Lori's house. Were some of these things talked about then?
Yes.
Was Chad present?
Yes.
Was Lori present?
Yes.
Were they both talking about these ideas?
Yes.
Had you heard of these concepts before?
Yes.
Had you heard of them in the way that Chad was teaching them?
No.
At the time, were you open to learning more about these things?
Yes.
Did Lori or Chad ever talk to you about if a person could switch from being light to dark or vice versa?
Yes.
What did they tell you regarding that?
That they might be light, for example, and then some maybe evil entity could enter them and then they would become dark.
So a light person could become dark.
That's right.
When they, and I say they, do you recall if it was Lori or Chad that would tell you these things?
She would tell me.
And would she tell you where she received the information?
Yes.
And-
Always she went to Chad with it.
Do you recall when Lori first started talking to you about people becoming dark?
I would say sometime between January and February of 2019.
Do you recall the first person she talked to you about becoming dark, the first specific person?
Yes, it was Charles Fallow.
Did she tell you where she received that information?
Yes, she received it from Chad.
At some point, did she talk to you more about what it meant if the evil spirit came in, like where the actual
All right,
person
I had
went?
to open cookies. There was an emergency cookie situation downstairs, and the jar that they got was not opening, or the cookies. So we had to stop and do the cookies. And I had to get off the flannel because I was going to rip through the flannel. I felt like Hulk. I just, it's whatever.
So when a dark spirit would take over, the original spirit of the person would go into the spirit world.
And that's what she originally told you.
That's right.
And did she tell you she received that information from Chad?
Yes.
So was your understanding the body of that person was still alive?
Correct.
It just had a different dark spirit in it now.
Correct.
What did Lori originally talk to you about? Was there a way to do something to help that person?
She would try to do like a casting out of an evil spirit and try to convince the spirit to the evil spirit to leave.
Do you know where she got the concept of casting from?
I believe she got it from energy work.
At some point,
How do you not feel like the biggest idiot on the planet? Like, you say this to all these people knowing you're manipulating them because you don't believe it, obviously. And you're sitting here now in court and they're reading this out and they're telling everybody the stupid that's come out of your mouth. And you're sitting there with just this like down frowned face. It's just crazy. Like, do you not feel embarrassed at all, even for your own self, since you're such a narcissist? You don't feel embarrassed?
Learn if Charles had been designated a different name.
Yes.
What was that name?
Ned Snyder.
Do you know where that name came from?
Chad told that to Lori.
Wow. It really is. There's a big head of the pyramid is Chad.
At some point, had Lori talked to you about her having a dream regarding Charles?
Yes.
What had she told you?
She said that when it was after Christmas and he was out of town, I believe he went to Texas and he took JJ, and she had a dream during that time that they were not going to come back, that they were going to get in a car accident, and that's what she saw.
She wanted Charles and JJ to get in a car accident. That was her mind. This is months and months and months before anything happened. She was thinking and conjuring up thoughts of a car accident for her own child and her own husband. That's a little look into her mind.
And they would be Charles and JJ?
Correct.
Did she believe Charles was going to be killed in that accident?
She did.
Was Charles killed in a car accident?
No.
Was it sometime after that that he was labeled dark?
Yes.
Judge, how about some foundation?
Your Honor, it's a question to her personal knowledge. I guess I can rephrase.
Go ahead, Ms. Blake, thank you.
At some point, did you learn or did Lori tell you if he was labeled dark once he did not pass away in that accident?
Yes.
And again, Judge, if I could have some time, date, place.
You'd like to lay additional foundation you made, Ms. Blake?
Do you recall approximately when Lori told you or when you learned Charles was not killed in an accident?
January 2019.
And Do you recall approximately, I think you've already said, but do you recall approximately when you were told Charles was dark?
It was, I would say, weeks after that.
And that designation came from Chad.
Correct.
And then we started talking a little bit about the idea of casting.
Right.
Did you ever participate in any castings?
I did.
What I don't understand about castings is this. So you believe, let's just walk through this really quickly. You believe that the person is gone and that the body's inhabited by an evil spirit. So basically you've accepted very, very quickly without any emotion, you've accepted the death of the loved one without any effing sorrow, right? You're just like, oh, they're gone. Now your job is to get rid of that spirit. So you start doing these castings so that way the spirit just leaves. But conveniently, every time the spirit that they did, it worked, right? But a new one came in. Like how do you believe that in any form? And when did Jesus do that? You know, like if you say you've seen Jesus and it's all Christian and it's all LDS lore that you're starting with, or that you grew up believing, and now you're in your mid 40s to possible 50s, and someone pitches you this, it would completely contradict a lifetime worth of learning. That's all I'm trying to say. It just doesn't make any sense that you could possibly believe that would make any logical sense. It's like, what was the point of the castings in the first place? And why did you believe they're already gone? Like, you already thought they were gone. So then what are the castings for? Like, what did you expect? You just wanted people to just fall out of your way so you could just have the money. Like I'm trying to find the pure motive even behind that part. Because imagine the effort they're taking to actually go in the circle and do the prayer and the casting part, the seances. That's still effort that they were doing. So did they really, they must have believed in some kind of part of that, because you don't just do that for no reason, because it was secret.
Can you tell me a little bit about what would happen at the casting?
So Lori and a few of her friends would stand in a circle and then feel like they had the power and authority to cast out the evil spirit by trying to use words, I guess, like an energy work to be able to convince them to leave, and hoping that the evil spirit would leave.
And that's another great point, Joe, is, first of all, good to see you. It's not an LDS practice, right? So a lot of what you hear here isn't even, they're making up a lot of the parts of it. And it's weird because no one calls it a casting. No one says that. That's not even a biblical term. So all of this is made up.
So would some of the individuals say a prayer?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would some of the individuals talk about sending spiritual weapons or something of that nature?
Yes.
Was the person that the casting was being done on physically present?
No.
Was anyone physically touching, doing anything?
No. You're
in this case,
seancing from a mile away.
Charles.
No.
Do you recall, did you participate in the castings for Charles?
Yes.
At any point, did Lori tell you whether or not the casting was successful?
Yes.
And what did she share with you?
She would say that Ned had left, and then shortly after, she would say somebody else got in.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's just so, it's so stupid. You cannot be that dumb. Oh yeah, it worked, but now there's a new one instantly. You just wanted to believe it for whatever reason, because that's exactly how you continue to go down this path, is to continue to trick yourself in whatever way. Evil stuff.
Another entity.
Do you know who told her that information or where she got it from?
Yes, she got it from Chad.
And did she tell you that?
Yes.
At some point, did you learn what would happen to the body if the casting was actually successful?
She would say that the body was supposed to die if the evil spirit left.
But what's the difference of a spirit coming in and now it's free reign for any demon? So like, what stops the demons eventually? Because you're already making up a bunch of BS about how someone got hijacked out of their body. So if someone got hijacked out of their body and then they just keep coming in, there's no stopping it. So there's really no death for that person. That makes no sense. And that's even stupider, because using the term zombie, we all know pop culture zombies. We all know that a zombie doesn't have a multiple life thing. A zombie is just like in a very like pop culture sense, is just this person that has like, doesn't die basically. And you know, there's like in The Walking Dead and stuff, they kind of like debate, is the person still in there or not? Like the consensus is they aren't. There's no logic here, and it doesn't even make any sense, because why would it just keep getting hijacked? It would never end.
So in Charles' case, Ned's out and a new spirit's in.
Correct.
Do you know if there were additional castings
Yes.
in relation to Charles, I should say?
Yes.
Did you participate in any additional castings?
Yes.
Do you know if at any point the next entity or spirit was cast out of Charles, according to Lori?
Yes.
And was it?
According to her, it was
And did she tell you where she received that information?
from Chad.
And then what happened in relation to Charles when that next entity was removed, according to Lori?
Nothing happened to Charles,
Did a new entity come in?
according to her.
And did she tell you where she learned that from?
Yes, Chad.
Was Chad ever present for any of the castings?
Yes.
Were there castings done on other individuals besides Charles that you know of?
Yes.
And who were some of those individuals?
Brandon Boudreaux was one that I know of.
And did you participate in a casting on Brandon Boudreaux?
I don't know if I said anything. I was there when they did it.
Do you know if Chad
What
was
do you
present
have
at
to
that one?
say? What are they doing in the casting? It's so irritating to hear this because I'm trying so hard and do this. So I'm just sitting here like trying not to go off, but like you're in this room when they're saying the stuff they're saying in the casting. It's demonic. You know that. They're literally trying to KILL them. I guess spelling it doesn't matter, but whatever.
Yes, he was.
And who was Brandon Boudreaux?
He was Lori's niece's, which her name is Melanie's husband.
Had you met Brandon?
Yes.
At any point, did you learn if Brandon had been designated as dark?
Yes.
And had he?
According to her.
Did she tell
You believed it. Come on now.
you where she received that information?
You were in the
Yes.
freaking room seancing. Just be honest. Like I feel like you can say I effed up in that time and this is how far I went with it. But like you can just say I don't know. It's
God.
You did it with her. You're
Do you know
best
if any
friend.
castings were ever done on Tammy Daybell?
Yes.
Were you present for them that you recall?
I don't recall.
Do you know if castings were done on Tylee or JJ?
Not that I know of.
You were not involved in any if they were?
I don't recall any of that.
And the castings in relation to Charles, do you recall approximately what period of time those were occurring?
So sometime between January and February 2019 up until I don't know, probably before he died.
And was your understanding that if the casting was successful, the body would naturally expire?
Yes.
Were you ever told that there would be violence done to the body?
Never.
I don't know if I believe that. I'm sorry. It's really hard to believe that.
Were there other individuals that were involved in the castings besides you?
Yes.
Did some of them seem to have more involvement?
Yes.
And do you recall who seemed to be more involved in the castings?
Lori and Sulema seem to know the most about it.
Did you not feel the evil energy in that room when that was happening? Did that not feel wrong?
And the casting that we talked about Chad being present for, do you recall where that would have occurred?
Yes.
Where was that?
That was in Arizona.
What are you writing down, Chad?
Are you aware when Charles Vallow was killed?
Yes.
Thank
Do you
you.
recall
Finally, somebody says killed. Like, how many times are we going to refer to Charles as had died? He did not die. Like, it's disrespectful to say Charles died or Tammy died or JJ died or Tylee died. They didn't die. They didn't pass away naturally. So it's honestly just disrespectful to refer to them as had died.
Approximately when that was.
July 11th, 2019.
So this would have been subsequent to the castings taking place.
Yes, right, shortly after.
At some point, did you start to believe that Charles may be possessed?
To some level, yes.
Why? You
And
believe
how
it.
many
Why?
times had you met Charles?
Just a handful times.
Would you say you knew him very well?
No, I didn't know him very well.
Is it fair to say most of the information you had about Charles came from Lori?
Yes.
Do you recall sometime in July staying
What
at
the
Lori's
fuck did
residence?
Charles do wrong to you? You were in his house, spending his money from his wife to be weird as hell together. All right, Colby, slow it down. I told you guys I was gonna try to chill out. I'm not gonna go off.
I do.
And do you recall her asking you to leave at some point?
Yes.
Why did she tell you you needed to leave?
So I woke up early in the morning and she told me I needed to leave because Charles was going to be coming down. He's driving in from Texas and that he was going to kill her.
What? Melanie was there July 11th and left early in the morning before. Hold on. What the hold on. Am I hold on. Slow down.
No, I didn't know him very well.
Is it fair to say most of the information you had about Charles came from Lori?
Yes.
Do you recall sometime in July staying at Lori's residence?
What's
do.
sometime in July?
And do you recall her asking you to leave at some point?
Yes.
Why did she tell you you needed to leave?
So I woke up early in the morning and she told me I needed to leave because Charles was going to be coming down. He's driving in from Texas and that he was going to kill her.
What the hell are you talking about?
Did she tell you anything that she was going to do, any precautionary steps she was going to take?
I believe she said that Alex was going to be there to help protect her.
What does that mean? You took it to the extreme, which is he's coming here to unalive me. So in return, you would be, what would protect you be? That's as clear as day to me. Hey, someone's coming to get me. I'm bringing this person to protect me. You have taken it to life and death now. So Melanie freaking knew.
Did you have an opportunity to observe Alex and Lori together?
Yes.
How would you describe their relationship or your observations?
Close.
How the
close.
f did I not know this? But we're just going to pass over that. I know that Charles had a completely separate thing, but I never heard that. I could have just been not listening or something, but like, is that not just insane to everybody? Like, she was staying at the house and is told, you got to go. Charles is coming. He's going to kill me. And you're not concerned because you know Alex is going to be there to protect her. That's premeditated protection, correct? So she fucking knew. I told you, one a day. PG-13 movies get one, I get one. That's BS, and you know it. And that is as clear as day to me.
Brother and sister relationship.
Anything about it seems strange to you?
No, it seemed normal to me.
Just close.
Yeah, really close.
And you talked about her saying Alex was going to come to protect her.
Yeah.
At any point, did you learn if someone had designated Alex as Lori's protector?
Yes.
What did you learn about that?
So as Chad would share with Lori that his mission in life, according to what he learned, was
Exactly. So, and again, this all goes back to, if you really believed any of this, you would be calling the police, calling the cops, if people were after you, all this BS you've been pitching. It doesn't make any sense.
to protect Lori. That was why he came here.
So Chad had designated Alex as Lori's protector,
That's right.
and Lori was going to have Alex stay to protect her from Charles.
I believe so.
What does that mean?
Did you ever hear Charles threaten her?
No.
Were you present when Charles was killed?
No.
At some point later, did you talk to Lori about that?
Yes.
What did she share with you about the killing of Charles?
She
Was
told
she
me
not called in Arizona? I don't know why. When you have trauma brain, you forget a lot. I'm usually really good at remembering. I don't remember her ever. I've never heard this. What the hell is, I'm like, I need to slow down. This is all brand new information. So Melanie was staying in the Chandler house. Mind you, she had just gotten home so quickly from Houston that I didn't even have enough time to come see her yet. That is how fast this happened. She moved back, said, I'm moving back. Me and Charles are going to have JJ on and off. Charles is going to come here. We're going to go there, blah, blah, blah. It was so quick to the point where Melanie was already staying at the house, and she said, you got to go this morning because Charles is on his way from Texas and he's going to kill me. You have to go right before it happens. And she goes, well, what are you going to do? And she's like, oh, well, Alex is going to be here to protect me. But that wouldn't make sense because Alex also spent the night. So none of that adds up. None of it adds up because Alex also spent the night there that night the day Charles was coming into town. So why would Melanie get rushed out the door the day before saying Charles is coming, you got to go? It must have been the same morning of July 11th that Melanie was there and then told to get out before it all happened. That's the only logical explanation why those words would be spoken. You got to get up because Charles is coming in from Texas.
That he came in from Texas and that they were arguing, and she said he put his cell phone in the car and she grabbed it, ran in the house. He was really upset with her. They were standing around the kitchen. He was threatening her. Tylee had a bat and she was trying to protect her mom or herself, I'm not sure. And then Charles and Alex got in a physical fight, and then Alex went to the bedroom to get his gun to defend himself.
It never will cease to make me so sick to my stomach. I mean, first of all, let's play out any logic. Number one, Alex was a tall and bigger guy, but out of shape. Charles was a very in shape person, even when he was in his 60s. Number two, any person who got hit anywhere in the back of your head, in the most sensitive spot you could be hit in, would be absolutely, if not by the slightest bit, disoriented. Let's just agree that if you got hit in the head with a bat today by a child, it would probably be disorienting. Okay? Then you have the presence of mind. Let's go back to tactic. You have the presence of mind to run to your bedroom and get a gun, load it, come back out, and take 2 shots. You don't even think to just hold and present the threat to stop him if he were the aggressor. You wouldn't think, hey, that's my brother-in-law. I'm just going to say, hey, you better get out of the house as a threat. You had about 45 different options where you could have just, if this story were true, you could have said, okay, stop right there. I have a gun. Get out of the house now. Leave. Or you could have shot the floor. You could have shot the ceiling. There's no way in hell you could ever make up enough of a story to where he presented a threat enough for you to have shot him no matter what kind of self-defense situation you were in. It is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. And for Melanie to come in and now say she heard this story after she got kicked out the house because Charles is on his way to kill her and Alex is her protector and she knows all this spiritual stuff. And then Charles ends up getting killed. And you think that story, and that's the story. I think that story was told to her so she could repeat it. So that way, if anybody asked her, she could say that because that was the made up story that they all agreed to. None of that she didn't believe it. Because she knew what they were doing. They were seancing. She was seancing against Charles. She was seancing against Brandon. When they get shot at or actually killed, that doesn't make you think, oh, shit. That didn't ring bells. Like, there's no way. This is how involved she is. I'm just being real.
And was it your understanding, or were you told that Alex then shot and killed Charles?
That's what they told. That's what she told me.
And did you also talk to Alex?
She was told exactly what to say.
Alex, about what had happened?
Yes.
And do you recall what he shared with you?
I believe he shared the same story. I don't remember all the detail to it, but it was the same story.
Mm-hmm. Do you recall how close in time it was after Charles' death that you talked to Lori and or Alex?
It felt like about 4 days afterwards.
No, it was probably
when you talked to Lori and Alex, were they together?
You were best friends. Oh my gosh.
Together?
Well, at first I talked to her on the telephone, so I don't know if he was there or not.
And then later when you talked to Alex, was Lori present?
I don't know if it was the first time I saw her or not. It could have been. It could have been the next time. I'm not really sure.
But at some point around 4 days later, you talked to both Lori and Alex.
Well, for sure her, but I can't remember when I talked to him. Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
There's no clarity. That's all.
When you talked to Lori, it's just 4 days later. Any sign of sadness?
No.
Any sign of grief?
No.
How did she seem?
Happy.
When you talked to Alex, any sign of remorse?
A little thoughtful, a little unsure of himself.
What?
At some point after Charles is shot and killed, did you see Chad Daybell again?
Yes.
Do you recall approximately how long after?
So it must have been a couple of weeks after Charles's death. He was in Arizona at Lori's house.
Kelly, it sounds
So
like that Melanie Gibb spent the night of July 11th based off of the things that Lori would have said to her.
Just a couple weeks after Charles' death, Chad Daybell's down in that house.
Correct.
He came to the house?
Do you know at that time if Tammy Daybell was still alive?
She was.
Do you know where Chad stayed when he was back down in Arizona?
I believe it was Lori's house.
Did you have an opportunity to observe he and Lori together?
Yes.
What observations did you make?
They seemed super excited to be together. They were standing, talking to several of us at the kitchen table, and
You didn't. What the fuck? Okay. Oh my gosh. I did not know I was gonna be this pissed off today. You find out this story. She tells you the story, and then they're at the table smiling as a couple, and you're not. That doesn't make you think that is insanity, that they're together and he's down here a couple days after this incident?
they're standing side by side and, excited to share, their future plans together.
Any sign of grief from Chad?
No.
Why would Chad care? He got
And
exactly
you talked
what he
about they were
wanted.
excited to share their future plans together.
Yeah.
So Chad and Lori were planning a future together?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And Tammy was still alive?
Yes.
All right, we're back on the record on case CR 22-211623, State of Idaho versus Chad Guy Daybell. I'll note that the witness, Ms. Gibb, is still under oath. The state's continuing with direct examination. We just concluded our mid-morning recess. It went slightly longer than anticipated. I had a matter I took up with counsel on a sidebar that was reported in the case. I believe we're ready to commence then with further examination. And Ms. Blake, just for scheduling purposes, we do want
I'm
to
gonna slow down. I'm gonna stop cussing because I've been really good about it. Love you guys.
With you that there was some kind of physicalness within their relationship.
Correct.
Did she tell you whether or not she thought that was okay because they were both married?
Yes. She said that every time she would get together with Chad, she would always ask Jesus if what was acceptable or appropriate that she could interact with Chad.
What the hell? So Jesus broke his own commandment on your cheating with Chad, and every time you guys got together, you got approval. This is how you know she's fabricated Jesus in her own mind. Gosh, there's so many people that need to hear this that are on Lori's side that think this stuff. She asked Jesus if she could have permission on what's acceptable when they got physical and cheating. Are we all here together?
And if she felt she had the affirmation that it was okay, then she would do it.
I assume.
Did she
That's
tell you
so
where they would meet
convenient.
up?
Hotels.
Did you ever talk to Chad or Lori about whether either of them were seeking a divorce?
Yes.
What did you learn in relation to that?
I asked why weren't they getting a divorce, and she told me that if Chad were to seek after a divorce, that he would be in trouble with Jesus, that he would lose his exaltations.
Did she tell you where she got that information?
She got it from Chad.
Yeah, convenient.
Do you know if Charles had started any divorce proceedings?
Oh, yes, I believe so.
But Lori didn't.
Correct.
Wow, I didn't know that. So Charles actually at least started the
Did
process.
you ever see Lori with more than one phone?
Yes.
Do you recall approximately how many phones you saw her with?
3.
Did she ever tell you anything about why she had 3 phones?
One was her own personal phone, and then one was she just had a connection with Chad through the other phone, and I'm not sure about the other one.
So one of the phones was to communicate with Chad.
No.
Yes.
Fucking bullshit, and you know it. The third phone would have been Tylee's phone. And you fucking knew it was her phone. Because I was getting texted by Tylee, so obviously Lori had access to Tylee's phone. So don't you play this shit with me. Let's do the fucking math. I'm sorry. I'm getting so pissed off right now because this is bullshit at its finest. If you want to see the definition, this is it right here. 3 phones. Obviously, Lori having Tylee's phone after because of the fucking text that I got. So don't act like you didn't know what it was. Because who has 3 cell phones, even as a businessman? Who has 3 cell phones? Nobody. So you knew her personal phone, Chad's phone, and you didn't know what the other phone was? You knew you were sitting with her 24/7. You guys shared hotel rooms. You guys shared intimate information and spiritual stuff. Come on now. I'm like legitimately like I'm getting livid right now because this is fucking bullshit, and she knows it, and she knows that she's lying, and she's sitting here acting like I didn't know what the third phone was. I know they had a lot of burner phones, but we have the tracing of when the burner phones were. So it depends on the timing, but come on now. The timing of this, when did they get that? When did she have a third phone?
Did you ever learn if Chad had more than one phone?
I remember she saying he had a special phone just for her, but that's all I remember.
Did Lori ever share with you how often she and Chad were in contact?
It was mostly daily. I'm sure there was times where she said, she couldn't contact him for certain reasons, but mostly it was daily.
And would that have been approximately since they met that they stayed in that type of contact, if you know?
Yes, that I know of.
Yeah, I could be a prosecutor. I would snap.
And we talked about Lori telling you Chad had shared with her that they'd been married in prior lives.
That's right.
Did she ever tell you specific names that they had in prior lives or who they were?
Yes.
What were some of those that she shared with you?
I'm trying to remember her names. I'm not remembering her names. I remember certain positions, though.
And what were those positions?
She was married to Moroni, and she was married to James, and she was she was Chad's wife, but he was James, and she was, I think, Elena.
Don't
and then
fucking blame me.
Chad was considered to be Methuselah, and she.
I'm trying to. No, you knew, like, you're so deeply involved. It's just stupid. It's so stupid that you think anybody's buying it. You know what her name? Oh, you just pulled Elena out of your ass? Are you kidding me? Do you think I don't know you knew that it's Elena? Just stop. Stop playing the game. Stop playing it.
Daughter, I believe, but I don't remember a name. Seemed like there was another time she was a lady that was married to a relative of Joseph Smith, but I can't recall her name right now.
Shut up.
And there could have been another one. I'm just not recalling it.
And when you say you remember positions, were those biblical or figures within some scriptures?
Yes.
When she was Elena, do you know who Chad was supposed to have been in that life?
James, one of the apostles of Jesus Christ.
And is that one of the times that they were married in a previous life?
Yes.
Why would Chad be Jesus's disciple directly and then come back if he's that, like, the coming back part doesn't even make any sense.
Did she tell you where she learned that information?
From Chad.
Did she ever tell you how Chad would get his information?
She said that he would sit in his portal and ask questions.
I can't even listen to this. Like, I've never felt so. What the hell is going on? I don't even know what planet I'm on. Like, a grown ass man told you I sit in my portal and receive revelation, and you actually, well, how many times am I going to say it? Why am I even surprised, bro? I don't know why I even feel like there's a surprise. But the fact that a grown man told you this information and you believed him. What are we doing? It's even worse that this stuff was being said in private. It's even worse.
Did you ever see the portal that was referenced?
Yes. Well, not his, but hers. Yeah.
And what did you observe in relation to Lori's portal?
It was nothing but, just a spot in her closet. I mean, it didn't look like anything. She just considered it her portal, but it looked like just a regular space.
You sat in a corner of the closet and pretended to go portal jumping? That's serious, like, mental health issues. Seriously. Unless they were doing what is projecting, astral projecting. That's it. The only thing I could think of is a transit state of people astral projecting. That is the only thing that makes any even close to logical sense of what that could have been. Which is not a joke, by the way. That stuff, I don't know anything. I don't know a lot about it, but you don't play with that stuff. You don't play around in this stuff. You don't do this energy, spiritual stuff. Like, you gotta be careful what you gotta be careful. Let's just put it that way.
Told her that was a portal.
Chad told her and taught her about it.
Had Lori ever talked to you about portals before meeting Chad?
I can't believe that the prosecution has to ask questions like this. I've never heard another case where there was this much delusion, ever.
I can't recall.
Do you recall when the last time you saw Tylee was?
In Arizona, July or August of 2019.
I don't want to hear one critical word out of your mouth, because I have been holding back, and it doesn't seem like I have. If you say one stupid thing about her, I will end it. I will end this right now.
And after Charles' death, at some point, do you recall Lori leaving Arizona?
Yes.
Do you know where she relocated?
She relocated to Rexburg.
Did she ever talk to you about why she left to Arizona to go to Rexburg?
Yes, she wanted to be with Chad and start their missions together.
Do you know whose idea it was for her to go to Idaho? Did she share that with you?
I can't remember if it was hers or both of theirs.
But she wanted to go to be with Chad?
Correct.
And when she left to go to Idaho, to the best of your knowledge, was Tammy still alive?
She was.
We had talked about people being light and dark. Do you recall if Lori ever said anything to you in relation to Tylee and whether or not what her level was or her rating?
She did say she was dark at some point. I don't remember the rating.
Yes, you do.
Do you know who gave her that information?
I'm guessing it was Chad. I don't remember.
Generally speaking, would she tell you she turned to Chad for these answers?
Yeah.
Did you know of anything else Chad used to get answers?
Yes, one time I saw him with a pendulum.
A pendulum was giving him answers on human beings being a light or dark spirit worthy, if you are dark, to be unalived. A pendulum. I'm going to show you a picture of a pendulum if you don't know what it is. This is a pendulum. And basically, it's more of a word of wow. There you go. It's a hanging ball string that waves from side to side. You guys know the clacker ball things that we consider a pendulum, where they hit one side and go through the other, but it's just one. So it's just one ball that goes back and forth. That was his methodical spiritual reasoning to tell you that somebody is a zombie.
Do you recall what the pendulum looked like?
It was gold, I think, or brass, and it had like a pointiness to the bottom of it and like a string.
Do you recall when you saw that?
That was in February of 2019.
Do you recall where you were?
Yeah, I was here in Boise, Idaho.
And do you recall why you were in Boise?
Yeah, there was a conference that weekend that I came to.
Do you recall who was present with you that you associated with at that conference?
Yes, Chad was there, and Sulema, Serena, and Audrey. And there were a lot of other people, but that was in a little small circle of friends.
Were those the individuals around when you saw the pendulum?
Right, correct.
I didn't hear you mention Lori. Was she there?
No,
Do you know where she was?
she was in Hawaii, I believe.
When Lori moved to Idaho, do you recall who went with her?
JJ and Tylee and Alex. He was either there before or after. I don't know. I know at some point he was up there.
So Alex, her brother, moved around the same time she did?
Yes,
And this is after Charles has been killed, correct?
correct.
And it's after Chad has told Alex that he's Lori's protector. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Do you recall if you ever spoke to Lori after she'd moved to Idaho?
Yes.
Do you recall if you heard anyone in the background when you talked to her?
Yes, she was in her apartment playing games with Alex and Tylee.
So you heard Tylee in the background when you talked to her?
Yes.
Do you recall approximately when that would have been?
August or September, not sure.
Would it have been shortly after they'd moved to Rexburg?
Yes, they just moved in.
At some point after Lori and Alex and the children moved to Idaho, did you end up visiting Lori?
It did.
Do you recall approximately when that was?
The weekend of September 22nd.
And was that of 2019?
Correct.
Do you recall why you ended up coming to Idaho during that weekend?
Yes, there was a conference in town, and then I was going to record a podcast with her.
Had you and Lori recorded podcasts before?
Yes,
When you came to Idaho, where did you end up staying?
at Lori's house.
And did you drive or fly, do you recall?
I flew.
Who picked you up at the airport?
Lori.
When you got to Lori's house,
Who was funding all of this? Like I'm just like financially baffled on who was paying for all of this. None of them have a job. Who the hell is paying for this? Maybe I'm misunderstanding the timeline, but like, is Lori literally paying for everybody, or because I know they had money from like us, like from September or whatever, August, September, where Lori took all the money for herself because she's the words I don't even want. I will just shut the stream will shut down if I paint the walls right now red. She took all the money. So who was paying for everyone's flights and all this stuff? Who's paying for this? How are they getting around?
during that weekend, who was present?
Alex was there and JJ was there. And then occasionally Chad would come over.
And then was there an individual named David Warwick that also ended up there?
Oh, yes.
And who was David Warwick?
He's my husband now.
And at the time?
He was my boyfriend.
They both had a boyfriend seconds after their marriage, by the way.
Do you know if Alex had his own apartment as well?
Everybody
Yes.
in that group was so quick to get married to someone new. It's fucking frightening. Like, I understand in a movie or like, you know, you love at first sight, whatever. I love my wife. I wouldn't have married her within 2 weeks. And I've known her since I was 14. I wouldn't have. I think that's insane. I'm just being, for me personally, that's insane because you don't even have enough time to get to know each other. And so that's just crazy.
And he did?
He did.
But he would be at Lori's at times?
Yes.
I didn't hear you say anything about Tylee. Did you ever see Tylee when you arrived in Idaho?
No.
What did you think about that? She's
Did
16
you
years
ask Lori at any point where Tylee was?
Yes.
old. I
What were
highly
you
doubt
told?
that.
I was told that she was at the BYU Idaho campus at school, and she got roommates with some girls that she was able to get her in.
Did Lori talk any more about Tylee while you were there?
No.
Did
You
you
know
ever?
why? Because Melanie Gibb gave zero shits about Tylee. She couldn't care less. Melanie Gibb and Tylee had beef because Melanie Gibb was a lot and she was just invasive and rubbed everybody around, our entire family, the wrong way. She just was too much, and just her pure presence with Lori, them together, the way that they acted, the way that they were together was, you could just be anybody and you'd be irritated. Anybody would be like, this is too much. They did not like each other. Melanie Gibb did not like Tylee. So of course she did not care where Tylee was. You couldn't believe that answer, even if that's what Lori said.
Ever see Tylee come visit?
No,
Ever hear Lori on the phone with her?
no,
Do you know whose room you stayed in while you were there?
Tylee's.
Were a lot of Tylee's items in the room?
Nothing was in there. That was clothing or anything, just furniture.
Did Lori talk to you about JJ while you were there?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
She told me that the day before I arrived that he became dark.
Holy mother frick. You know at this point about the dark stuff. You know about Charles and the darkness. Tylee supposedly goes to school, and now the day before you show up, JJ is now dark. You know what happens to dark people. You know it.
So previously she'd told you Tylee was dark,
Correct.
correct?
Yeah.
And now JJ was dark.
Correct.
Did you observe JJ that weekend?
Yes.
Did you observe any behaviors that caused you concern?
No.
Do you recall her telling you why she believed he was dark?
Either Chad told her or she figured it out herself. I'm thinking it was Chad, but I'm not remembering.
And Chad was present at times that weekend,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Was he present when there was talk of JJ being dark?
It's possible.
Pryor hasn't
Did you
said
ever-
a word, by the way, which is, I think, is wild, because yesterday with Ray, he was very interjecting and very, very whatever. So I think it's very interesting that he hasn't said anything.
Did you observe any interactions between JJ and Chad while you were there?
Yes.
And what were those?
JJ seemed to be upset, and so Chad took him upstairs with him, and they went into
This makes me the most angry. When I heard this, I lost it.
All right, I'll construe that as an objection based on foundation. Ms. Blake?
Ms. Gibb, do you recall approximately when in your visit the interaction occurred?
I feel like it was Thursday. Like I got there on a Wednesday, I believe. I feel like it was the next day.
And I guess for reference, how long were you there at Lori's?
From Wednesday to Monday morning.
So best of your recollection, this is around your second or your first full day there.
I think so.
And if you could go ahead and tell us again what you observed.
Okay. He took him upstairs, and then after a period of time, he came back downstairs. I believe he was holding his hand, and that's what I observed with him.
Did you observe any injuries to Chad?
He had a red scratch on his neck.
Did he tell you how he got that?
I asked him, and he said that JJ had scratched him.
I hope JJ fucked you up. Seriously. Who takes a little child that they don't know, an autistic child who has a routine and doesn't know who you are, and thinks you can pull him into a room by yourself to even talk to him? He has no child would be comfortable in that situation, but who knows, because JJ is not just aggressive. So something happened in there that made JJ angry or feel scared, because he would not have scratched Chad without a reason. I promise you that. So I am telling you, I know Chad did something to JJ in that room that made JJ scratch him. I'm telling you right now. Because JJ wouldn't have done that. He's not just going to scratch someone, especially someone he doesn't even know. And how did he even get in the vicinity of scratching his neck? Because Chad must have been close enough doing something to that little boy. And if I should have jumped, I should have frickin' marked the steps and jumped. I should have done it.
Had you seen many interactions between Chad and JJ before that?
No.
When you were there, you talked about Chad coming and going. Did he stay the night to the best of your knowledge?
No, I never noticed that.
And this weekend that you're there, Tammy was still alive. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why he couldn't
Did you
spend the
ever
night.
hear Chad talk about Tammy?
A little bit.
Do you recall what you heard?
Chad and David Warwick were speaking at the island, and David was asking him questions about Tammy, and Chad said, please don't share this with anybody, my relationship with Lori. And so David asked questions about the relationship he had with Tammy.
I guess
Objection.
Pryor's mic is off, and I don't frickin' mind.
Foundation.
Your Honor, I think she's recalling events from that weekend. So we do have a narrowed time frame. I can ask a follow-up question, but it's based on her personal knowledge.
I'll sustain the objection if you want to ask additional foundational questions, Ms. Blake.
Do you recall approximately when you heard this conversation between David and Chad during your stay?
It would have been on the weekend because David was there already. He didn't come until Friday, so it could have been like on a Saturday or Sunday.
So sometime around Saturday or Sunday?
Yes.
And what did you hear Chad say about Tammy?
That she was a good wife, I believe. I'm not recalling right now what he said.
Do you recall him ever mentioning that he was going to divorce her?
Never heard that.
Ever hear him talk about getting separated?
No.
Did you observe Chad and Lori interact while you were there?
Yes.
Did you observe them interact several times through your stay?
Yes.
What were your observations of their interactions?
They seemed to be a couple that was close and loved each other. There was affection, hugging. I saw her kiss him on the cheek. They were singing together, maybe a little dancing.
What the fuck are you? What are we doing? He's married and you know it. And you think it's sweet?
So affectionate with each other.
Yes.
Do you recall ever seeing them act affectionate outside of the apartment?
Yes.
What do you recall about that?
We were walking around the campus and they were holding hands.
Rexburg's tiny. Did Chad not think that anybody would possibly know who he is as he's literally holding a woman's hand as they walk around the track? Let's not even mention the fact that they're happy as hell right after everything they did to all these people in my family before even anything else happened with Tammy, and that he's walking around with her in a public setting holding hands.
Campus is pretty broad, Ms. Blake.
When you refer to campus, do you know which campus that was?
The BYU, Idaho.
All right.
The BYU Idaho campus is what you said?
Yes.
I'm going to pause so you can take a drink. Thank you.
I
And do you recall
I really
approximately-
thought I was going to hold my composure today. I really did. I really don't like excessively cussing. I really don't. But I am getting pissed.
When you went and walked the track during your time in Idaho?
It was really in the beginning, so it was either Wednesday night or Thursday night.
And what did you observe between them at the BYU Idaho track?
Very affectionate and loving towards each other.
Did you ever ask them, or did they ever say anything to you about that?
I asked them if they were concerned if
They
they
get
were worried
caught.
Tammy might see them together.
There you go. That's all you're worried about, is it getting caught. It's not a, hey, this is messed up. What the hell are you doing? If my best friend was doing that, I'd be like, dude, are you kidding me? I would go off on him. And I would explain the situation. So you're not a friend if you're sitting there doing that.
And she let me know that Tammy, wasn't aware of his personal life like that, where he went.
But again, no indication of divorce or separation.
Correct.
He told you he couldn't get divorced because it was a salvation issue. So now Chad can't get divorced because if he gets a divorce from Tammy, he's going to not make it to heaven. But if he unalives her, he will. How could you do that to her? How could you even think this way?
Did Lori ever talk to you about September 22nd having any kind of special meaning to her?
Yes.
What did she tell you about that?
She told me that it was an anniversary for her of when she saw Moroni in the temple.
And do you recall the last time you saw JJ?
It was the Sunday night, the 22nd.
What was happening the last time you saw him, if you remember?
22nd?
I was in the house, Lori's house, and I was doing a recording with Lori and David, and Alex walked in the door holding JJ on his shoulder and was taking him to bed. He had fallen asleep.
Okay.
And did you see where Alex put JJ to bed?
No.
You knew Alex would never put him to bed. You knew he would never put him to bed. Because that would be so out of character for Alex Cox to put JJ to bed. If I'd spent even half of the time that you did with Lori and in a family dynamic, you would know how out of place that is. How that would make no sense.
You know which room JJ normally slept in?
He often slept with his mom in the corner of her room. There was a little spot that she would put a bed in there for him. But he also had his own bedroom too.
Did he sleep in his bedroom that night?
No.
And how do you know that?
Because I was in that bedroom, in JJ's bedroom, so he wasn't in there.
And you talked earlier, you were going to stay in Tylee's room.
Why didn't you?
Can you tell us why you ended up in JJ's room?
So I was, slept often in Tylee's room, and then when David got there, him and I.
You often slept in Tylee's room? What the hell does that mean? And then you switched to David's room?
We were in the same room that night together talking and reading scriptures and going to bed.
So did David have his things in JJ's room?
Yeah.
So was it your understanding JJ was put to bed in Lori's room that night?
Yes.
You read scriptures, prayed, but you slept together in the same room.
What, if anything, happened that night out of the
critical.
ordinary?
David woke up with just a panic. He had a really bad dream, like a nightmare, and he was very disturbed by it. And I asked him, what was going on, what he experienced. And so I was concerned, and I thought I could call out and see if I can get some help from Lori and Chad to see if they could give him a priesthood blessing of comfort.
Lori doesn't have the priesthood based off of the LDS church lore.
But I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first word. Should give him a what blessing?
Priesthood blessing.
Did you, in fact, try to contact Chad?
Yes.
How did you try to contact him?
Text or phone call.
Did he respond?
No.
And would this have been in the early morning hours?
Sometime in the early morning.
Did you attempt to make contact with Lori?
Yes.
And how did you try to do that?
The same, text and phone call. And then I went to her room to see if she was there, and it was locked.
Did she respond to the text or phone call?
No.
And then her bedroom door was locked?
Correct.
You have no way to know who was on the other side?
No.
Did anyone ever open the door for you?
No.
And you said that was on the 22nd.
Correct.
Did you see JJ the next day?
No.
Did you ever see JJ again?
No.
You never saw a 7-year-old boy in your entire stay or ever again, and you never questioned it after David's dream that he told you. Just that alone doesn't even add up. After everything you know.
After Charles was killed, did Lori ever share with you how she was going to survive financially?
She talked about money she received from JJ, from his Social Security. She talked about, and let's see, she talked about, I think,
bullshitting.
like, was it Social Security for Charles? And
No.
And then we talked about insurance a little bit, but I'm not sure if that's what you're thinking of.
So do you know if she ever received any life insurance for Charles?
I don't think so.
What'd you say that?
So to the best of your knowledge, she was living off the Social Security money.
Yeah, to my knowledge.
Do you know if Lori ever got a job when she came to Idaho?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Did she ever tell you that she had a job lined up and that's why she was moving to Idaho?
No.
At some point, did Lori talk to you about some struggles with JJ?
Yes.
What did she share with you about that?
She said that he was acting out more as far as the weekend that I was there in September, that he was acting like he was possessed. He was, 1 minute he would be upset. 1 minute she would say he was talking very intelligent. Just
a child, a autistic child.
Variety of different behaviors. She seemed troubled by it, that he had been taken over by an evil spirit, that he was upsetting. I don't know. She just seemed kind of upset by it.
Did she ever indicate any kind of a plan of how she was going to handle that?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
She said that she wanted Kay to have JJ.
No. I don't believe that. Because that would make zero sense, because you knew, based off of everything we've heard, how much Lori did not like Kay and did not want JJ to go to Kay after Charles. There's no way you didn't know that, because you two were so close. I really don't believe that you believe that. I really don't.
Did she ever talk to you about a plan to get JJ to Kay?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
She said that she wanted to meet together with her in the airport and talk to her about her, like if she had cancer or something like that, and that if she would take him, or a relative that was close by to Kay's family that would take him.
What?
And did Lori talk to you about coming up with what?
Hold on. I'm sorry. This is a lot of information for me to process. Lori said to Melanie, I'm going to take JJ to Kay and say I have cancer, so that way Kay will take JJ back, because that's still not legal, because you're the adopted parent. So that doesn't make any sense. I really don't know what to say or what to do. I don't even know how to explain. Who has cancer? Lori had cancer, supposedly?
To tell Kay to get her to take JJ?
Yeah, we talked about that.
And did you help her come up with an idea to tell Kay that Lori was sick, and so she needed Kay to take JJ?
She was throwing different ideas out with me, and so we talked about that kind of scenario. Yeah.
What's up, Sherilyn? How are you? Good to see you.
Was it your understanding that Lori actually did, in fact, contact Kay? Is that what she told you?
Yeah, she did.
Did she tell you that, in fact, she had given JJ to Kay?
She did.
So Lori gave JJ to Kay on the night of the 22nd at midnight? There's no shot you believe that. Just rewind and explain to me, if he disappeared in one night at midnight, the next day you don't see him, how the fuck did Kay get JJ? When did they meet at the airport? Can you explain that to me? That's not even slightly logical.
And we go back to the last time you saw JJ is the night of September 22nd.
Thank you. Please get
That
her.
next morning, did Lori say anything in relation to where JJ was that day?
I believe she said that David remembers this more than I do, but that he was with Alex that morning.
Why?
And is it sometime after that that Lori leads you to believe that she sent JJ to be with Kay?
Yes.
Did Lori talk to you about how she transferred JJ to Kay, the custody?
Yes.
And how was that?
She said they met up in the Salt Lake City airport and she took JJ.
Salt Lake City Airport is 2 hours away. 2 hours away from Rexburg, Idaho. I know that because we literally have driven and flown out of Salt Lake from Rexburg. So when did Lori have the time to drive a 4-hour trip to go down there? Unless you believe that Alex, of all people, who is the most unfit person to have a child around, would have taken JJ, even though you specifically were supposed to do the handoff.
And we'd talked, actually, let me back up. Sometime later so you're there in September.
Mm-hmm.
Did you continue to be in contact with Lori after that trip?
Yes.
Did you ever hear
The only time she got upset is when she got screwed by these two. The only time Melanie gave a shit about this situation is because she got screwed by Chad and Lori because they told the police that JJ was with her. That's when she got pissed off. All the way up to that point, it was all cool and all good until they put her in the line of fire. That's why she got upset.
In the background on any phone calls?
No.
Do you recall getting a call from Chad sometime in November of
Yes.
2019?
Yes.
Do you recall where you were when you got that call?
Yes, I was in Utah.
Do you recall approximately when it was?
I felt like it was like 2 or 3 days before Thanksgiving.
Play the call.
Do you recall what Chad told you or why he was calling?
No, play
Yes.
the call.
And why was that?
He told me that the Rexburg police were going to call me and ask about JJ.
What, if anything, did he tell you to do in regards to that?
He asked me not to pick up the phone and talk to them.
Did he tell you why he thought the police were going to call you?
Because he said that Lori had told the police that I had JJ.
That's when she
How did
turned.
Chad sound in that phone call?
Nervous.
That's when she turned.
Did you have JJ?
No.
Did you ask Chad where JJ was at that time?
I said, he's not with Kay, and he's no.
And prior to that, where had Lori told you JJ was?
He was with Kay.
No, he wasn't. And you can, Kay's in the back of the room. I can see her. I can't imagine what it'd be like to be in person.
Did
I've been
Chad tell you
screaming.
anything else that you recall?
He said that Lori would shortly be calling me after that, but she was talking to the police. I can't remember right now everything else. It was very brief.
Do you recall if Chad indicated where he was when he placed that phone call?
I don't recall.
Did you learn at some point where Chad and Lori were? What state?
Oh, Idaho.
You already
Did
knew they were
Lori, in
Idaho.
fact, end up reaching out to you?
She did.
Do you recall what she told you?
When she answered the phone, or when I answered the phone, she was very positive and upbeat, as if everything was okay. And she said that she was protecting Tylee and JJ because
Protecting her own ass. How about that? Yeah, lie to the police for me. And I'm just protecting my kids, right? Make sure you lie, though. Make sure you lie to the police for me, because I'm trying to protect them.
Kay was and others were trying to kidnap him, so that's why. And she told me to go to a Frozen movie and take a picture to act like there's other kids like I had him.
And did law enforcement, in fact, try to reach out to you?
They did.
Did you answer initially?
Initially, no.
The only
Do you
reason, so Chad and Lori obviously used everybody, but they used Melanie. Then's when she gets pissed off. Alex gets thrown under the bus. They were all expendable, right? Because that's the only time they got upset is when they got turned on, because they'd done all the way up to that point. They're all cool until Lori and Chad started getting actually hit by freaking Raw Wrench Ray and everybody else, and that's when they got upset.
Paul, at any point, if Lori, Alex, or Chad had told you anything regarding law enforcement?
At some point, yes. I can't remember the beginning, but I remember having a phone conversation with Alex, or maybe it was in person,
Why would you talk to Alex by yourself? That's weird.
that the police had come to his house and Melanie's house to ransack his house. And they came questioning, asking about where JJ was.
At any point, were you told whether or not law enforcement were dark?
Yes.
And what were you told in regards to that?
I remember Alex saying they were considered dark translated beings.
And again, who was it that was able to determine if someone was dark, from your understanding?
From my understanding, it was Chad.
So initially, you don't answer the call from law enforcement. Why was that?
Because I absolutely did not know and understand what to do about it.
At some point, did you end up talking to law enforcement?
I did.
What did you initially tell them in relation to JJ?
So when I called Gilbert Police, I initially told them I had JJ, but then I didn't have him. He was back with Lori.
Why the hell did you do that? Why would you tell them that you had him? because you knew. You freaking knew. You knew exactly what was going on. Because why would you cover for their ass? Why? Why do all this?
So initially you complied a little bit with what Lori had asked. Is
Correct.
that fair?
Yes.
At some point, did you make contact with law enforcement again?
Yes.
And did you end up making contact with them through an attorney?
Initially.
Why?
Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
So right after I discovered that I needed to go talk to the police, the day I was going to go, I had a phone call from a friend who I hadn't talked to in about a year or two. He was an attorney, happened to be an attorney, and he felt impressed. He told me to call me out of the blue. I mean, no knowledge of this case had been revealed to the public, so he wouldn't have known to call me. And then I felt to share a little bit about what was going on. And so he said, I should probably do a child, what do they call that? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name.
Are you thinking welfare check?
Welfare check. And I really wasn't sure what that meant because I've never been involved in that kind of dynamic before. So, yeah.
And did that friend of yours, the attorney, reach out to law enforcement and request a welfare check?
Yes.
So
at this point in time,
the attorney heard what you were going through, said, this is going to be my last one, I promise, okay? If you don't want to hear it, cover your ears. You're fucked. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to save you the best I can, and you're going to comply with everything the police are doing because you are in deep shit, so you need to call the police and you need to help them. And that's why she recorded that phone call. I don't know that for a fact. I'm speculating, by the way. This is my opinion, and that is what makes sense to me.
Do you have concerns about JJ's well-being?
Yes.
Did you have concerns about Tylee's well-being?
No,
yes.
The fuck she did not. I know I lied to you. I just lied to you. Sorry. I lied. I shouldn't have cussed, but I lied. Because no, she did not. She didn't give a shit until it was her ass on the line and she felt the fire. That's when she decided, okay, I'm worried. This is weird. That's pretty convenient timing that you started to give a shit about either one of the kids, is when you got screwed and you lied to the police.
Did you end up sitting down with law enforcement later and telling them more about, in regards to whether or not JJ was ever with you?
Yes, I told him everything.
And did you do that without an attorney?
Yes.
And did you in fact tell them JJ had never been with you?
Correct.
Well, I mean, give her that one
Did
thing.
you learn who had made or who had initially reported the children missing?
I'm sorry,
Did you ever learn who had reported the children or JJ missing?
Are you referring to like maybe Kay contacting the police? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you learn that?
You just said it. So
I think so. I think so.
So originally Lori told you she'd given JJ to Kay. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then later she told you Kay was going to try to kidnap JJ.
Right.
Did Lori disclose the location of JJ to you at that time?
No.
At some point, did you end up, or let me back up. After those calls from Chad and Lori around Thanksgiving, did you have further contact with Chad and or Lori?
So after, yes, after I went to Arizona for Thanksgiving, and Dave and I pulled over and called them because we were really concerned and wanted to have a prayer. We were worried about everybody. So that was a few days later.
This doesn't add up.
And did Chad or Lori answer?
We called both of them, so.
And they were together?
Yes.
In that conversation, did Chad or Lori tell you where JJ was?
They didn't tell me where he was.
At some point, did you end up talking to Alex?
Yes.
That's so weird. I didn't
And
even know Alex and her spoke. Like, I did not even know that they had any contact together. Because it's like, like your friends, like brother, like even if they're a part of a group, it's just weird. I didn't know they had so much contact. That's just really wild.
You talked to Alex about your concerns with JJ.
I did.
Do you recall what Alex told you?
Yes. I asked him.
Reg, could I have some foundation as to when this conversation supposedly took place?
Objection based on foundation, Ms. Blake.
I'll ask some additional questions.
Thank you.
Do you
Blake kills
recall
it.
approximately when you spoke with Alex about your concerns?
I think it was the day or two after Thanksgiving.
Do you recall where you spoke to him?
Yes. It
Okay,
was,
so hold on. Slow down. Timelines. The day before Thanksgiving, the police come to my door. They ask about Tylee and JJ. I call Lori. I've always regretted this because I was so upset, so frustrated, but I feel like I tipped her off. That always made me feel like I screwed up. Because if I wouldn't have told her, they would have got her. I hope they would have got her. Because I think they pretty sure they went to get her house a few days later. I'm still learning the timeline on that. But I call her, and the next time I call her the next day to say Happy Thanksgiving, even though I'm pissed and to see what's going on, their phones are disconnected, as in silence. But Melanie Gibb and her boyfriend and Alex can still contact Lori and Chad. How wild is that?
Arizona, and we were behind the house that he just moved into, which was Suleiman's house. There's a field there. We were walking and talking, and so I asked him.
Do you recall if anyone else was present for that conversation?
Melanie was there, and then shortly after that, Sulema showed up.
So, and when you say Melanie, was that Lori's niece?
Yes.
And what did Alex tell you in relation to where JJ was, or to your concerns for JJ?
I just said, do I want to know where JJ was? And he said no.
What the fuck kind of question is that? No one would ever in any logical way ask about a child and say, do I even want to know where he is? And the person answers, no, you don't. And all of these adults are around in the circle and they know absolutely nothing. That alone, that answer alone is clear as day, because what does that even mean? That is as clear as it gets. You ask, do I even want to know? And he says no. And all of those adults are present and hear that answer from Alex himself. Fuck everybody in that group. Fuck all of you. Bunch of grown-ass bitches is what you are. Cowards, fucking satanic people. Fuck every single one of you. You literally are complicit in these murders. All of you. Every single one of you in that fucking group are complicit in all of their deaths. I don't care if you ended up squealing later. It's because your ass was on the line after that. That's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. No one would say that, and you wouldn't think that that's not the worst answer you could possibly imagine. Hell no. Everybody in that fucking group knew exactly what they were doing. You all hit it, and then when you flipped, it's only to save yourself, because you knew the heat was coming for you. So you flipped and snitched so you could save your own ass. You don't care about anybody. She doesn't give a shit about those kids. That proves it right there. Nobody would ever ask, do I even want to know where JJ is? And they say, probably not. You probably don't want to know, because it's that bad. All of you fucking people, every single one of you are equally in line, just as guilty. Do I need to say names? Fucking Melanie Gibb, Melanie Boudreaux, Lori, Chad, Alex, and Zulema. All of you. Every single one of you fucking knew what was going on. And it's right in front of our face. And this is the bullshit version, by the way, that we're getting. This is the bullshit version we're getting to hear, because we know you're fucking bullshitting right now and telling us just the absolute tip of the iceberg of what was actually going on. Every single one of you knew what was going on. How the fuck do you keep going on knowing that? Do you think everyone's stupid? Like, we don't know, you know? You're all best friends. You all knew. I can't believe it. How could you be okay with all of the harm being caused by every single one of these people that were mostly family? You all fucking knew what it was. Oh, no. I named Melanie Boudreaux. I said it. Melanie Pulowski. I don't give a fuck. That is insane. If you were sitting right there and you heard that, yeah, you might not know exactly where they are, but you can't. Are you that dumb? Are you that stupid? Seriously, are we going to start to sit here and act like you're that stupid that you don't know something is off? After all of this talk of the darkness and people dying and being shot at, you don't know better? You don't know what's going on? You're that delusional and you're that out of touch with reality that if someone said that in front of you, you wouldn't absolutely know what that meant? That alone, of all the things we've heard. No, that's insanity. This is a baby. He was 7 years old. My daughter is 6 years old. He's 7. She's almost 7. It's a baby. Even Tylee, who's 16, was a baby. Like, you only went at people you already premeditated knew what you were going to do because you're all cowards. You're all satanic. And you're complicit in this shit. So fuck at all of you. Don't sit here and play that bullshit with me. You know exactly what this is. And you knew in the time, by the way, because you were in the fucking house. You walked in the house and you didn't know where the kids were. So you just like, oh, well, they must be off just going to school. And Kay just picked up JJ. Bullshit. You're a grown adult. You have your own children. Bunch of fucking nut jobs, bro.
And then he proceeded to tell me about the police coming to their apartment, and I didn't understand why they would do that. So we talked a little bit about that.
But when you asked if you wanted to know where JJ was, his response was you didn't want to know.
That's right.
At some point, did you end up making a phone call to Chad and Lori on December 8th of 2019?
Yes.
Who was present when you made that phone call?
No one.
Did you record the phone call?
Yes.
Was someone there recording it for you?
No.
What device did you use to record it?
Cell phone.
Had law enforcement ask you to make this phone call?
No.
And you did, in fact, record it?
Correct.
Judge, I have what's been marked as State's Exhibit 42. It's a jump drive. I have a copy for counsel. And I would request to publish the first portion for identification purposes only.
All right. Before it's published, of course, we'll go through the question of admissibility. Mr. Pryor, is there any objection to Exhibit 42 being admitted?
I would have preferred a little more foundation, Judge, but at this point, I'm going to stipulate to the admission of the exhibit and allow her to move forward.
Okay, Exhibit 42 is admitted, but pending an additional or a first proffer that it is actually the exhibit Mr. Pryor believes it in the court and properly marked. In other words, Ms. Blake, if you just start a portion of it and let everyone confirm it's the call you're referring to.
Thank you, Your Honor. And that was actually my intention in order to lay more foundation. And it wants to give me difficulties. Let me try one of the other discs.
I know I went off, guys. We're going to listen to this phone call. Just thank you for letting me filter that out. Just, I don't think I just to hear it, to know it so bluntly, and to know and be able to just think about behind the scenes and how much was being said and what was being going on and how oversharing Lori is and how she chose who she was going to be close to and who was going to listen to her. Every single one of them knew without being directly possibly told. But I'm also sorry I painted the walls today. Just saying. There's a lot of cussing. I haven't cussed like that in a long time. That was sailor stuff. So, I try not to do that because, like I've told you guys, I'd like to make sure a place is not a violent, raging chat, but whatever. Just.
Your Honor, if I may have just a moment.
You may.
I'm gonna skip all this.
We've already admitted it, so it can.
Come back. I mean, I hope that he.
I'm gonna go blue.
We've already.
Here we go.
I'm going to pause there briefly. Were you able to hear that?
Mhm.
Do you recognize the voice on there? And whose voice is that?
Fine.
And do you recognize this as the recording that you made on December 8th of 2019? Your Honor, I believe with the additional foundation, this may be, or I'd move for the admission of this exhibit.
All right, I've previously admitted it. May it be published, Mr. Pryor?
Yeah, there's no, Judge, you're right. You've already admitted it, so it can be published at this point.
Okay. Before we do that, I am going to maybe suggest we get a handheld microphone if one's readily available. We weren't getting great audio off of the mic on the stand there, Ms. Blake.
You have an extra desk or something? One that's not being used with anything else on it? Just put it on that and say. It'll take me a minute. Yeah, me too. I'm a lot slower.
And Your Honor, I think I had
I've heard this
forgotten
phone call
to
before.
turn the mic on again, so we'll see if it...
This is the biggest flip of informant I've ever seen. From I'm screwed to let me go record them is the biggest flip I've ever seen. And she goes, hey guys, hey. It's like, you already knew, red flag.
plays through and if it picks up better.
Okay.
And I am calling Chad Daybell's phone number, and hopefully I will be talking to both of them, Chad and Lori. So
Yeah, this is a recording because she was screwed and this is the only way out.
here goes the phone call.
No, what? Yeah, like, why are you recording it like that?
Sweet Melanie.
Hi, Chad. Hey, Lori.
Hey, let me put on speaker.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We're enough with the phone.
How are you guys?
Okay, how are you doing, babe?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. I was wondering, where are you guys?
You're
We're just
the
saying-
worst actors of all time, bro. You can hear, like, you know. That's why they knew, because this is bad.
Hanging out.
Hello? Are you in Idaho?
We're in Idaho.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to ask you a question, if you don't mind, Lori.
Yeah,
Um, I want to know, you remember we talked about JJ going to Kay's house, and you told me they went there, and now he's not there? I was wondering what happened.
She knew because Alex told. You asked Alex, do I even want to know? And now you want to know?
well, I had to move him somewhere else because of her actions. So,
You said you
she-
gave her to him, or him to her, because you had fucking cancer, which is alone lying about having cancer is insane. This is just, if we picked apart and separated how insane the entire thing is for one piece, that would be the whole insane part of the trial. That is not even not even close to as crazy as this gets.
Was she doing something? Like, was she trying to come get him or something? Or, like, trying to kidnap him?
well, she said that lots of times before, but
Kay is right here.
Okay.
In the
Well,
back, I
you know, when I asked Chad the other day, I was like, hey, where is JJ? And he said, for my security, he didn't want me to know. So is there a reason I should be in danger to know where he is?
no, it's nobody. It's his danger. It's the danger that there's people after me.
Okay.
So,
Well, if you knew, that puts you in a danger.
well, just in a bad position. There's
Yeah, that position.
everybody, if they don't know.
See how nonchalant it is? So Chad is telling everybody, as Lori knew this, that he is on the phone with Melanie. If I were the jury, this would be the end for me right here. Is that Chad is saying to Melanie in front of the jury as he's with Lori, it's for your safety. You don't know where JJ is. But the whole time, he didn't know where JJ was because apparently Lori and Alex set him up and put JJ on his property. This, for me, would be the end right there.
Then they don't have to say they know.
Right, so you're just worried. Okay.
I'm just to keep him protected and
Keep you protected.
and keep everybody else.
I appreciate that. Well, I was wondering why you told the police why he was with me.
Listen to this.
I just needed to
Use. Lori literally tells her best friend that I needed to use and then restructures the sentence.
somebody that so I wouldn't have to tell them where he really was because they were going to tell Kay where he is.
Oh, yeah. So is it, do you think it's like your family or, like your family, your dad, or, those people?
Family, well, not my whole family, but as you know, most of my family is working against me and with her, basically.
Yeah. Is JJ safe?
He is safe and happy.
How can you even say it without a thought?
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Are you afraid of anything? Like, are you afraid to tell me that you're just afraid that that I could be in danger? Like like I don't, like if I knew, like how could that hurt me? I don't understand how that could hurt me if I knew where he was.
Well, I'm just not telling anybody so that nobody has to say where he is or get questioned to where he is so I can keep him as safe as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, save your own ass and your husband's ass.
Okay, I hope that he's okay. I hope you guys are okay. But I did have a question that I asked Al at one point, your brother.
Your brother.
If I wanted to know, like where he was, and he said I did not want to know, and that he could not be found. So what does that mean?
I don't know if he would say that, but it's the same story. Like I don't even want Al to know. I don't want anybody to know so that nobody has to be worried about it. I mean, nobody has to be questioned about it, so he can be safe.
Yeah. So how long are you going to be away for? Like are you ever going to be able to come out and come back to society again? Or are you going to keep, come back? I mean, like, what does that look like?
I will do whatever the Lord needs me to do every day. So
I just wondered if I was.
So the Lord needs you to hide the bodies of your children while you marry the slug from hell and spend their insurance and Social Security money. That's what the Lord needs you to do. Okay.
See you again.
Absolutely, you will.
Okay, so maybe when they're done chasing you, you'll be able to come out again, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's a ridiculous thing for them to be working with Kay to find me. There's nothing that's gone on that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're working with her in some dark capacity. The police are working with her in some dark capacity. There's no reason for them to be after me in the first place.
Yeah, has she threatened you at all?
Yes, lots of times.
Oh boy, like what did she say?
Well, it's in emails and everything. So.
So like,
yeah,
she said she was
Kay's a bad guy. She's the bad guy because Kay wanted to know where her grandson was, so she's evil. And so are the police because they want to mess up your vacation and your life. And why are they after you?
Take him, or she was.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Nellie.
I know it sounds like it. I'm just worried for you guys because, he's missing, and
I know exactly where he is. He's perfectly fine to see.
Okay, well, I hope so. I have a scripture I wanted to share with you, if you don't mind.
I'd love it.
I was thinking about some of the things you guys have gone through.
You hear the hostility between these women? I have a scripture for you. I'd love it. It's anger. She knows.
And I saw the scripture today, and I want you to.
Let me ask you a question. About the scripture. Okay. So, did Alma turn himself into King Noah? Or what did?
Turn himself in. Lori has been foreshadowing this from the beginning. Turn himself in. Why would you even say that? Because she's projecting how she probably thinks and feels.
Was he required to do?
Well, King Noah was incredibly wicked.
Yeah.
So he fled his evil ways, which is adultery and living riotously and breaking all the commandments. It was
Right,
very
so what
That's
did he-
all of you. You're all putrid.
What was he required to do, Alma?
He had to go and flee so that he would be safe and then help other people realize how, jacked up the system was and the government was.
What about Moroni? What was he required to do at the end?
To carry on those plates and bury them. That was his
What did he have to do
responsibility.
to do that? What did he have to do to do that?
Well,
Did he hide?
He had to hide. He had to hide because they were so. They were so. Everybody was killing everybody in the society. Everybody was dying. They were killing all the Nephites.
And the scripture said to hide in the cavity of a rock by day and go out by night.
The prophets did.
They did.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well, thank you for sharing that with me. Okay. This scripture is just something that may be thoughtful for you. For behold, this is Doctrine and Covenants, section 3, verse 7 and 8. It says, for behold, you should not have feared man more than God. Although men set not the counsels of God and despise his words, yet you should have been faithful, and he would have extended his arm and supported you against all the fiery darts of the adversary. He would have been with you in every trouble. So when we work with the Lord and are obedient, he's going to protect us from adversarial darts and all kinds of negativity. But when we open the door to Satan, he comes in and then he attacks. And then he takes away to make it look like somebody else took it away. But that's not how God works. He doesn't work in darkness.
What are you talking about? How can you preach?
I agree with you 100%, and that's what the Lord is doing for me. Exactly what He's doing for me.
I don't know, it just
We
sounds
have
weird.
not for darkness, Mel. Darkness is knocking on the door all the time because that's the way dark works with the light. And I promise you that I have done nothing wrong in this case, but sometimes you have to hide in a cavity of a rock for your own life safety.
Why? Why?
And that's what the Lord requires of you sometimes. And that's
And
how
you're
it
not
is.
in a fucking rock. You're in Hawaii at a very expensive hotel spending a bunch of family members' money because you unalived them for their money.
And I'm sorry that's how it is.
Cavity of
because
a
there's a lot
rock.
of darkness on the earth.
I know.
This spring after me for zero reason besides the darkness of Kay, which you already know she's dark.
I haven't met her enough to know if she's dark or not. I've just met her slightly, and she seemed like a normal kind of person, but then I haven't engaged with her that much, so I don't know that personally.
Backtrack.
So you don't know about her changing the thing for herself to be the beneficiary of the policy and all that stuff. None of that's dark, right?
Well, I haven't seen those documents, so I have no way of knowing.
You've seen them on my computer.
No, I have not. I haven't even looked in on your computer before. You haven't shown me anything.
Being controversial to me, or if you're recording this conversation for the police or whatever, I don't know what your intention is on this phone call.
Well,
but I love you with all my heart, and I have forever, and I will always love you.
I appreciate those words, but if you really loved me, you wouldn't have told the police that I had JJ with me.
Exactly. There it is. That's all she cares about. You wouldn't have tried to screw me if you loved me.
That's not what a friend does. I mean, that just makes me look weird, and it's not safe for me.
You lied for her first. You literally lied for her. So how does it make you look weird? See, I didn't know this. I don't know how I didn't know this, but I don't know why this is hitting me different. She lied for Lori.
That doesn't look good. I mean, you had to think of my welfare if you love me.
I do, and I did exactly what I felt the Lord was instructing me to do. And I appreciate you, and I love you.
I'm
And
just
I will never do anything to harm you. And you can have all of this confirmed to you by the Lord.
You guys are
I have.
nuts.
and my conscience is clear. I feel very understanding what's really going on, Lori.
What is it?
And I believe that you have been very deceived by Satan. I believe that he has tricked you. And I don't believe that what you're doing is correct. I just don't. I mean, Tammy dies, and then your husband died, and then he's missing. It just doesn't sound like God's plan to me. It just sounds. It gives me a gut feeling.
Since when did you get this gut feeling? Tell me that. After you got screwed.
My gut, it feels weird. It doesn't feel right. I don't have peace about it. I never have felt 100% peace about it. I always felt like a little weird in my stomach about all these things.
You know me, Mel. You know me.
Lori's lying.
This does not sound like you. This sounds like you've been influenced by somebody dark who wants you to believe dark things and have fear of the celestial world.
I don't have fear.
You obviously do.
No, I have a peace of conscience, and I can see clearly.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I love you so much.
I know you do. I don't know what else to say.
Stand Christ when he comes again, and he's coming soon, and we will all stand there, and you will know at that point that he is supporting me and has supported me the whole time, and I have not been deceived.
I just want to testify that I know.
Shut the fuck up. You come chiming in at the end of it all. Shut up. I just want to testify. Shut up, bro.
The conspiracy theories, my sister-in-law's right behind it all, and I hope that you're not being influenced by that dark team.
I don't know who she is. I'm sorry, you said your sister-in-law? I don't even know her.
I know, but she's coming up with the same type of theories, and it's just not true. My own children were there. They testified that Tammy had been getting weaker and sick, and
you are both you and Lori are just sick as it gets. How can you even say the words coming out of your mouth? I cannot fathom.
To go to the doctor, her heart was failing her. She was physically falling apart, but she hates doctors, and she just passed away. That's how.
First of all, no one even asked you about Tammy. Number one, it's so disrespectful to even talk about her, but no one even asked you about that literally was not even the conversation. So why did you start defending your own innocence with absolutely no one asking you about Tammy? She asked about JJ, and then you come in out of nowhere. I can testify that. It's like no one even said anything about that.
My son Garth was right there with me the whole time. My kids were at the house within 20 minutes of her passing. There were 2 coroners. They checked her out right there on the bed. All these conspiracy theories just make me sick to my stomach. Just absolutely sick. I know I've been told for years that Tammy would pass away at a young age. And I had no idea that Lori would even be a part of my life. I just knew that my life had 2 segments. And that I know Tammy's on a special mission, and she's with my kids. She's visited them. There's so much, Melanie, that you just have to have faith. And this is not some sort of master plan. There's no way Lori and I should ever come up with this. It's just.
You can understand my.
What you even said made no sense at all. Me and Lori couldn't have even come up with this. Yeah, because you're doing it on the fly because you're criminals. And you're making shit up as it comes out of your mouth, as you can hear. So yeah, you are making it up. It's the projection is insanity. The fact that it's just coming out of their mouths that they can't even like, it just has to come out because they're just telling you straight up like I couldn't have made this up even if I wanted to.
Concerned, correct?
I can from an outside perspective, but from
someone who knows as much as you know, no.
As much as you know. That is why I've told you guys.
Not really. But we can feel Dave's influence on you. I can feel that for sure.
He's a very good man, and he has a very strong foundation. That I know.
I know, but he seems to be the one that's putting the doubts in your mind.
No. You know what? I have come to understand that my gut feeling, I was not listening to it, and I always felt uncomfortable with many things.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry that I included you in those teachings then for your own sake, because I wish that you didn't have as much knowledge as you have, because you will be accountable for the knowledge that you do have, no?
So are you.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know why Lori's so confident in all of it, that nothing's going to happen at the end of all this.
I have no fear.
Yeah.
I have no fear of that.
But I really, as I was reading the story of Korihor, and it's so very similar to this, you just can't see it, but he did it because he was trying to reclaim a people, and he thought at the very end, because of his carnal and natural desires, that's what influenced him. And he was very, very defeating.
Natural desires?
Well, honey, you got a lot of natural desires. We all know that.
That's what you think is me, Korihor? Are you kidding me right now?
I think both of you have similarities. It's in the scriptures. It's in the scriptures. And the scriptures are very powerful.
Oh my gosh, this is... We got 2 of the biggest doofuses together on a phone call and let them battle out the stupidest thoughts I have ever heard, because you're both so deep into this fake realm of fake stuff that you both believed, and all of a sudden now Melanie has a conscience, and now she's been feeling sick and starts pulling out verses and starts going at her. I mean, it's wild. This whole idea is wild.
They are. I live by the scriptures, as you know.
I know, but we can wrest the scriptures for our own vain glory.
I wrested the scriptures?
We can do that, and I feel that you have to see our belief systems.
Do I wrest the scriptures? Is that what you're accusing me of at this point?
I feel that you have.
Why do you feel that way? I need an explanation on this.
Because if you look, like the scripture just
You
shared,
read
okay,
the scriptures every single day, you know?
I know you read them. I don't doubt that. But this scripture right here says that you will be supported by all against the fiery darts of the adversary. You would have been supported if you had not opened dark portals and dark junk. You would have been safe if you would have obeyed God. He would have had your back. But you have been chased and tortured. And
this or not,
I'm sorry.
He had your back. So,
well, if he has your back, you would not be able to tell me where you are, and we couldn't find JJ. Like, where is he? I've been asking, where is he? And you know what I mean? Like,
I can tell everything where JJ is right now, and that would not be good, JJ.
It'd be not good for you, because you'd go to fucking jail.
So, I'm sorry that you don't want me to protect my children, but I would never ask you to not protect your children.
Of course you wouldn't.
So I can tell that you're just adversarial, Mel. I love you. I'm sorry that you feel this way.
She's such a condescending. Oh my gosh, I almost said a word I would get canceled for. Oh man, I almost said the word. It almost slipped right out of me. Look, I gotta chill out. Whew. Whew. Let's get. You could feel the heat coming out this room. It's getting toasty in here. Let me slow down. Sherilyn, the cat fighting scripture quotes. Two of the most unbiblical women fighting over scriptures is just next level. I don't even know. And who's sitting through it all? Homie's just sitting there, just waiting to chime in on something that's irrelevant. I don't even know if he chimes in again, but Lori has always been this way. It's so condescending. She goes, I can't believe you would do this to me, but I love you, and you're the best that's ever lived, and you're the best person, and I love you so much, and you're so great. But you are kind of a bitch, but I think I really do love you, and I think you're an amazing person, and you're so good, and I fucking hate you, but you're an amazing girl, and I love you. She's like, that's exactly how she's always been. It's condescending. She says something with the sweet and salty in the same sentence. It's manipulation at its finest, and I don't know how the hell they're all even friends. They're both nuts. It's nuts. It's like, what happened to all of you mentally? There's got to be some explanation for this. Somebody's got to help you. You need help. You need like legitimate professional help.
Because I actually do care. I'm sharing what I feel for you because I know your salvation's in trouble for what you've done.
Okay, my salvation is not in trouble at all. And I think you should check that with the Lord again.
Well, I felt a lot of things from the Lord. And this doesn't feel right.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, sweetheart. I'm sorry that you're friends with all those who are against me.
You go, why are you sorry? Why are you even sorry if this is happening? Oh, sweetie. Oh, sweetie. I'm so sorry. You're such an idiot. You're friends with the devil.
Yes, I'm not friends with people that are against you.
Apparently you are.
I am not. I don't know Kay. I don't know who you're talking about. Your sister, I don't even know what her name or who she is. I don't know any of those people. Why would they contact me anyway? How would I even know about that?
Well, you're friends with Dave, and he's currently, you know.
Well, David is a very righteous man, and I've always known that grounding about him. And he has a lot of beautiful experiences with the Lord, and these are not the same. You know, when you get the priesthood, that's Peter, James, and John shows up, and then he confirms all of those in the circle that are to get it, and everybody's a witness of that. Everybody's a witness that the pattern is in the scriptures. There's no witness that you ever receive what you think you received. Nobody has seen that but you. There's no witness. The witness, Joseph Smith, Oliver Cowdery, Martin Harris, the 8 witnesses, they all showed up.
Is there a witness?
Yeah, after the fact, though. Never mind.
My father gave that Joseph Smith by himself in the grove was their witness.
See, no, there she goes. She just
had it
contradicted
later with
me.
other people.
Exactly right.
That was one experience, but others joined in later. When he brought other people into it, they had experiences.
Scriptures, yes or no?
That's the problem, is that you can't really argue that because Joseph Smith did see it by himself. So that's not even an argument to bring up.
Is that in the scriptures, yes or no?
That Joseph was alone when he saw God the Father and Jesus Christ? Yes, he was alone.
He was alone.
But he had to open it up first.
That's not a pattern at all.
Honey, what I'm saying is that after he saw that and other people joined in, they saw the things with him. He wasn't alone. There was a witness for them. There was no
Chad's
witness.
saying he's the witness.
Never seen what you've seen or experienced what you've seen. That's your own witness, but nobody said that.
No, God knows it, and I will never deny it. For my soul would be at stake if I did. So you can say it didn't happen to me, Mel, but if I say it, then I am accountable. You didn't witness it, but I did.
But your behaviors is not, okay, I understand that's what you believe you saw, but this is the thing, as I see, is that your behavior is not one of somebody
Never
seeing
had
Christ.
any
Your
idea that you
behavior,
would be
your
the person
behavior.
to-
What?
Never had any idea that you would be the person of all people to turn me. I cannot
I
believe
am
it.
asking questions, and I am concerned for you. That is what somebody does when they care.
You don't sound like you're concerned. You sound like you're accusatory. You do not sound concerned. You sound pissed off.
I'm not. I am troubled. Maybe that's the better word. Troubled.
You weren't troubled a couple weeks ago. You weren't troubled when you lied. You got troubled when homeboy told you, hey, if you do not comply, you're done. You need to call her, record it, and do something because you've put yourself in a very bad position. That's probably exactly when you started feeling weird about it all. That's wild timing, huh?
Because these things, like you being with Chad before he's even divorced, is unusual behavior for a person that's seen
He's
Jesus
not-
Christ.
I was never with him, and he was never divorced.
Honey, I've seen you guys together. So I haven't ever seen you with, I've never seen you with Chad kiss him and walk around
You didn't ever say that in your testimony, by the way. You said kiss on the cheek.
the track at BYU with him. I never saw that. You see
Saying
him?
you were the one just feeling guilty about being with someone before they were divorced.
Oh, honey.
Two cheaters mad at each other for both cheating on their spouse in some capacity? Okay.
I think that's not what we're talking about here.
Wait, it's not what we're talking about here. That's what I'm saying. You are going off the deep end. But
Well, I'm just saying this is not a behavior of someone that sees Jesus Christ. It's not the behavior.
really? Have you ever seen Jesus Christ? So do you know what the future behavior would be if you had seen Jesus Christ?
I know that when I prayed.
That's what I need to do every day, and he does protect me, and he is protecting me, and he will protect me against this accusation as well. And we will both stand there with him.
It's not an accusation. It's literal truth. There's multiple witnesses. I'm sure BYU could pull up their footage of you on the track.
And you tell me if I was lying or not. But we're both standing there with Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Oh. She didn't want another word said. She didn't want another word said. She beeped that thing. Oh, honey. You know how you're caught and you're done and cooked is you go, "Oh, honey. I don't think that's what we're talking about." Because you have nothing else you can say.
And Miss Gibb, it sounded like that call abruptly ended. What happened?
Just disconnected. Sometimes it disconnects in that particular area that we're in.
No, she hung up on you, bro.
When
you're not
this
wrong,
phone call
Charlotte.
takes place, did you know the location of Chad and Lori?
No,
They hadn't shared that with you?
no.
At the beginning of the call, we hear some laughter. Do you know who was laughing?
Lori and Chad.
Do you remember? Maybe I'll ask it this way. Did Chad and Lori seem upset when you called them initially?
Oh, no.
Did they seem to be in pretty good moods?
Yes,
And this is December 8th of 2019.
correct.
JJ is still missing at this
December
point.
8th.
Is that correct?
So everything's done between
Lori
September,
talks to you
October,
about there being
November.
a danger that there's people
Fucking
after
hell.
me. Do you know what she was referencing? Had she ever talked to you about that?
She just said that she felt Kay and her father and her other brother, not Alex, seemed like there might have been another, like a cousin or something. And possibly she put in there the police. It's kind of, lots of conversations together. But anyway, that they were all after her.
Did she ever express why these people were after her, why she thought they were?
Because she considered them dark. They knew who she was spiritually, and so their goal was to take JJ, and possibly her life might have been in danger.
And again, to the
By
best
the way,
of your knowledge,
we just forgot about Tylee. Tylee hasn't been mentioned one time. And I understand JJ's 7 years old and needs a lot more attention. Tylee's still a minor. And we've just accepted the fact Tylee went off to college at 16 years old, completely void of any contact of her mom, doesn't need to be around, is living her life. And it's so stupid. Like, that's why I know Melanie knew.
was it that would determine if someone was light or dark?
That was Chad.
And you talk in there to her about why she would say JJ was with you, correct?
Right.
And she ends up, Lori makes a comment along the lines of she just needed someone so she didn't have to say where he really was. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Did she ever tell you where JJ was?
No.
I
We
believe
also
that
hear
in
Lori
one-
on there make a
I
comment.
believe that for one reason is because I think Melanie would have cracked if she actually knew physically where they were. And I think that's the one thing Lori, Chad, and Alex kept close to the vest because they're sick, but they didn't want to get caught. That's why they didn't tell anybody.
That JJ is safe and happy. Do you recall that?
I do.
At any point, did you ever have any additional conversations with her where she explained what she meant by that?
I don't think so.
So she just says he's safe and happy.
Yes,
And this is on December 8th of 2019.
that's right.
Last time you saw JJ alive was September 22nd of 2019, correct?
Correct.
And never again. September, October, November, December is when you made that phone call. And you lied and said he was with you and you knew.
And in this
he was with
recording,
Kay.
Lori mentions Kay as being dark, correct?
That's right.
You say you've never met Kay,
Briefly, I have.
just briefly?
Yeah.
At this point in time,
yeah.
did you really know Kay?
No.
Had you met her?
Briefly.
Just briefly? What about the sister-in-law that Chad refers to? Do you know who that is?
He was referring, was it Heather Daybell? I think her name was.
Had you ever met Heather Daybell?
I had not at that point. I had never met her.
And we hear Chad in there as well talk about that Tammy was physically falling apart and she just passed away. Do you recall that?
Yes.
But yeah, in there we also hear Chad say that he knew Tammy was going to die.
Right.
And we also hear Chad say he knew he was going to have basically a second life.
Right.
Do you recall that?
Yes.
How convenient.
Had you ever heard or talked to Chad before about him believing Tammy was going to die?
He was shared that information publicly at a few conferences that she was going to pass away.
Who the hell says that about their wife? Who publicly says, I think my wife is going to pass away young? And that doesn't make everybody in the room say, what the hell did he just say? What kind of person would even say that? Period. And to a group of people, none of you raised red flags.
At some point early.
And do you recall ever having conversations with Lori about the belief that
And
Tammy
that
was
sounds
going to
exactly like Lori, because it's the whole obsession with early deaths and like meeting death. Like there's something so deeply, disturbingly wrong about the way that they think about death. I don't know what it is, because Lori was obsessed with her own death, and then she started getting obsessed with like dates and certain things happening, and then she wanted to live over everything. I don't know. It's just obsessed with death.
die.
Yes.
And did Lori believe that Tammy was going to pass away?
I believe she did.
Did she tell you where she got that information from?
From Chad.
He's the most guilty in.
There's a statement in
certain
there
things.
for someone who knows as much as you know, from Lori to you. Do you know what
Get
she's
her, Lindsay. Tell her.
referring to there?
Well, she referenced also the word teachings in there, the teachings that they felt that their teachings of light and dark and multiple lives were a more of a higher, kind of more of a mystery learning. And so she felt that I would be in danger before God for knowing that and then turning on all that knowledge that she shared.
So talking about the knowledge you had from their teachings, that you would have to account for that in the next life,
Correct.
No, that's.
or
not
I guess
what they
after
meant.
this life, whichever way
Correct.
they said
Yeah,
it.
right.
And you talk about that you weren't always comfortable with things.
Right.
Do you recall what some of the things were that you were referencing?
So the idea of they referred to dark people as zombies at some point, that was a little different. Them getting together and being, married multiple times, it was a little different. They're just all their teachings that are not standard teaching from our church. I never, 100% believed it. There was some uncertainty there. So just any of those new ideas that we've talked about today.
And I think we talked earlier, and you'd indicated you were open to some of the teachings or ideas, but
Yeah.
that you didn't fully believe them.
Correct.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
It's hard to even believe that that's true. I'm sorry. It really, really is. I am speculating, but I don't feel that they were very far off when it came to certain things. I don't think she cared or was a believer or changed. Everything changed after she was told to lie and she knew she was going to be in trouble. That's when it changed. So let's just be real.
And in that recording, Lori, again, she indicates that she knows where JJ is, correct?
That's correct.
And Chad's right there with her when you're talking to her.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Blake, we're right about at the noon hour. Is there?
I was going to say, I think this may be a good point to take it the lunch hour.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're back on the record on KCR 22-21-1623, State of Idaho versus Chad Guy Daybell. I'll note the prosecution's present.
Oh, this is
in
a
addition,
4-hour
the
thing.
defendant and defense counsel. Continuing with direct examination of Ms. Gibb, I'll remind the witness you're still under oath for your testimony. Ms. Blake, I believe you have continuing direct. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, you can proceed.
Ms. Gibb, we were talking about that recording and that Chad had made some comments about how Tammy was going to die. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Do you recall approximately when Tammy actually died?
I'm not sure the date. I believe it was in October 2019.
Do you recall learning of her passing?
Yes.
And
When
the
you
thing
learned of her
is-
passing, did you reach out to
The thing is,
anyone?
it's like, I'm going to sit here and say this, and this is my family. And at the end of the day, we still have to understand, like, Tylee and JJ are gone, but so is Tammy, and her whole family's feeling that still, and Charles. And it's hard because the shock value of what we heard yesterday and the day before about Tylee and JJ is just so shocking, and it's so hard to you can't even process it. But it's hard because there's so many other parts of this that are going on at the same time, and it's hard because you have to compartmentalize. And like we're listening to this as this is different because when I was there physically watching and being a part of the trials, I was at Charles's and I didn't testify or anything like that, and so I was there watching, and obviously I was pissed off because they weren't sharing a lot of the information. It had to be very close. They couldn't bring up Tylee or JJ, any of that. And so I was getting frustrated, but hearing it all in one place really shows you the scope of what's been lost and how much they didn't care. And I don't think Lori or Chad would have stopped had they not been stopped.
Yes.
Who did you reach out to?
Lori.
Do you recall if it seemed like she already knew when you reached out to her?
Yes.
And did she already know of the passing?
It seems that she did.
Prior to Tammy passing away, had you ever talked to Lori about Tammy?
Yes.
What had Lori shared with you?
That she was supposed to continue her mission on the other side of the veil eventually, and that she would be okay with her and Chad being together.
So, and
It's so
her
disrespectful and infuriating to tell someone else that the spouse that they just unalived is happy for the two cheaters to be together on Earth, and that's what they wanted. That was their will. And Lori has publicly said in her interviews that she's friends with Tammy Daybell.
It was Tammy that was going to continue her mission?
Correct.
And Tammy was going to be okay with Chad and Lori being together?
Correct.
Do you recall if Tammy was ever designated as dark?
Yes.
Do you recall approximately when you first heard Tammy being referred to as dark?
It must have been either the end of September or sometime in October. I'm just not really sure.
Would it have been so fairly close in time to her actual death?
Correct.
And again, Chad is the person that would label people dark?
Correct.
Do you recall ever speaking with Lori about whether or not Tammy knew anything about Chad and Lori's relationship?
Yes.
What did Lori tell you in reference to that?
She said that Tammy became suspicious through other people, and she was concerned about that.
And was that fairly close in time to Tammy's death?
I'm not exactly sure when she first told me that. I can't remember when that was.
But at some point, Lori indicated to you it was her understanding Tammy was getting suspicious.
Yes.
Prior to Charles Vallow being killed, did Lori ever indicate if Charles was suspicious of an affair?
It seems that he might have been privy to at the same time Tammy was. That feels kind of familiar. But up to that point, no. I don't know. I
What are you talking about? Charles emailed Tammy about their affair. How do you not know that?
I can't recall.
Not
I'm not
sure.
sure on that one.
And I appreciate you clarifying that.
Yeah.
With these teachings of light and dark, at some point, did they evolve?
Yes.
And when they evolved, was there another term that was being used for someone that was dark?
Yes.
What was that term?
Zombie.
Did some of the other teachings evolve over time?
Yes.
Do you recall ever talking to Lori about whether or not she 100% believed everything?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
Once or twice she mentioned to me that if Chad's a Satan, he sure is a good one. So that gave me an indication there was some doubt there.
And Lori would tell you she received her information from Chad.
Correct.
And she would go to Chad with...
If Chad's a Satan, he's a really good one.
her questions.
He's
Correct.
not even the slightest bit slick. What do you...
Did you ever talk to Alex Cox about whether or not he believed what was being taught?
Yes.
What did Alex indicate to you?
I asked Alex if he 100% believed that zombies were really true, and he said he 100% believed it.
I believe that.
And I have no further questions at this time.
All right.
I
Thank you, Ms.
1000% have told you guys from the beginning that there is the most convicted person in the entirety of that trial, of the entirety of this situation, is Alex Cox. He is absolutely 100% the most spiritually and actually like believing of all of them, because he just is.
All right, Mr. Pryor, you can conduct cross-examination when you're ready.
I'm sorry, Judge. It would just take me a moment, please.
Oh,
Good afternoon,
gosh.
Ms. Gibb.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to go through a little bit of a timeline with you if we could.
Okay.
He's gonna go at her.
You, and in particular, I just want to talk about Chad, Lori, Alex, your husband, David, Zuluma, yourself. So you met Chad approximately when?
The summer of 2017.
And that was at a Preparing the People encampment, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and before we go
I
too
don't even drink. Okay, but like I feel like drinking a daiquiri right now.
far, Preparing the People is an organization that talks about when there's going to be a second coming and how you respond to that. Is that correct?
It had multiple levels too.
Okay, so
talks.
talk to me a little bit about that. What were the levels?
Some people shared conferences about science, and some shared about the Book of Mormon and the evidence of the Native Americans. Some people shared their visions. Some people talked about ancient scripture information. Some person talked about
Sherilyn,
stars,
stop.
and so there was a variety of subjects.
All right, and I'm not just talking about the one that went with Mr. Daybell. You had participated in these Preparing the People conferences previously to that. Is that right?
That was the first time I'd actually been to one when I first met him.
Okay. And then thereafter, how many of these conferences or these mountain retreats would you go to?
I think I've only been to 2 like mountain retreats, but the conferences were generally in a conference center.
Okay. And the frequency of those?
Let's see, once or twice a year. A handful of times I went.
Well, I
can't
want to
recall.
know the lore of this group, because now the thought I'm going through is, okay, so you're a LDS guy who still goes to like LDS church, and then you start this like extracurricular group that has these like conferences and these meetings. I'm like, how did this all come to be? Like, who organized this? And like, how did you get the word out there? How are people coming to the conferences? Like, how did that work? Kelsey, shut up. Kelsey freaking said sins of the chins. There's no shot you just said that. Sins of the chins.
Well, how many?
Okay. And sometimes 3 times a year.
It could be.
And is that where you initially met your husband as well? Future husband, excuse me?
No, not at theirs.
At one previous to that?
A different one.
Yeah, and that was previous to the one that you're talking about where you met Chad, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you were at a Preparing the People conference or an encampment. You met your husband there, and then, future husband, just met him, and then subsequent you met Chad at a similar encampment. Is that right?
No.
Okay, please clarify that for me.
No, I didn't meet David at a camp. I met him at a conference previous to meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't understand.
What is this camp?
So you met him at a conference. Was it similar type of conference? A preparing the people conference similar to that?
It was kind of similar. It was more about the study of Isaiah.
Okay, all right. Religious-based conference.
Yes.
Okay. Now you talked about part of the instruction at these conferences were a variety of subjects. A lot of them, well, most of them based in some sort of at least religious theology or religion of some point. Is that fair?
Yes.
And most of them are geared towards the LDS faith?
Yes.
And would you say that these preparedness conferences and these meetings that you attend are consistent with your beliefs in the LDS faith?
Yes, mostly.
No.
Not completely all of it, but mostly.
Okay.
No.
So when you talk about vision.
No. And again, you guys know I'm not even LDS anymore, and I can still tell you a lot of what they, it's just too complicated to say here, but no, not everything. A lot of it was so I would consider this group a mixture of a lot of different things. You're going to mix in a lot of the like LDS lore, then you're going to take maybe some of the like more new age spirituality, kind of like the healing stuff, the astral projection, the weather stuff, like that kind of stuff. I feel like is like you kind of mix movies and there's just a lot of mixture here. It's very, very unique to itself in a sense of like not a lot of other places are doing all of those things. It's a very, very specific kind of cult, but it is an LDS based cult that branched into taking those concepts and like creating more and more and more off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about, and I'm going back to what I think I kind of understand is that visions are like premonitions. Is that kind of what they're all about?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, so what's the difference between a vision and a premonition?
Why do you have to define
Well,
that?
from my opinion, a vision is something someone sees while they're generally sleeping, but it's a really live experience, as if it's really happening. It's something they feel like they're in that vision, as if they're part of it. It's like we are here. It's something you could actually see. Okay. You're part of that. Premonition, at least my understanding of premonition, is just kind of a gut feeling about something. Okay. Like you feel like something's going to happen, but it's a visionary experience.
Like That's So Raven? That's a premonition. Just come on.
Okay. And there's nothing inconsistent with the LDS faith about having visions while you're sleeping about things that you believe are going to happen in the future. Is that right?
Sure, that's right.
Okay.
But can you not confuse it with a really vivid dream? You need to be very careful when you're talking about that stuff.
Well, if and before we go there, and I'm going to hack this up because we've spoken before, and I think the first time we ever spoke, it was your boyfriend, right?
Right.
And now it's your husband.
Correct.
And how long have you folks been married?
About 3.5 years.
And you folks live together where?
We don't live together.
Have you ever lived together?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. How much of a length of time did you folks actually live together?
So after we got married, we lived together for about, I want to say 9 or 10 months.
Okay. And then now you live in different households.
Yes.
Okay. And that's just by choice, right?
Yes.
So you live in Arizona.
Right.
And he lives in Utah?
Yes.
Okay.
That's okay.
And we don't need to go any further than that. That's far enough, I think. So back to this idea of visions. Like you said, it's not inconsistent with your faith that if you have a dream at night, that can be perceived as, it's not a guarantee, but it can be perceived as a vision of something to come in the future, right?
Dreams and visions what I've heard is they're a little different from each other.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, what you heard, you practice this as well as part of your faith, don't you?
I don't have those experiences, but our faith believes that people can have them.
Okay. So is it something that is...
You're not LDS because of how far down the rabbit hole you went, so I just don't think you should really be maybe this sounds rude, but I don't think she should even be talking about it because she obviously believed a lot of that other stuff. So
I think that someone who has a special gift is given the opportunity to have visions. Is that what that is?
I think so.
Okay, so your husband has that gift, correct?
Yes.
And your husband has had numbers of visions, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Sustained.
Get him, Lindsay.
But there are people that are appointed to, or not appointed, but who are have the ability to have these visions, correct?
Yes.
And you believe that Chad Daybell at one point believed he could have these visions.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you mentioned something in the beginning, and I saw that in the past interviews and other things that you've done, and we'll get to that in a minute. But you said that at a number of these podcasts and conferences, Chad has previously talked about the fact that he believed his wife Tammy was going to die early.
Yeah.
And in fact, he brought that up on the at the conference on the 18th in 2018. He discussed that with the folks at the conference, that he relayed to them that he felt that his wife was going to pass early and had been doing that for some time, right?
That's weird. That's the point. That's weird.
I'm not sure exactly when that he shared. I just remember hearing it.
Okay, so it's possible that on October of 2018, at the very time that he met Lori Vallow, the same conference, he had already relayed to the people there that he felt his wife Tammy did not have a long life, that there was a vision he had about that, right?
Before that conference, it was before he met Lori. I knew that information.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. And thank you for clarifying that, because I may have looked at that differently and I viewed that in a different way. So before Chad even approached the conference with Lori, he had been making that revelation at conferences prior to that about his wife Tammy.
Yes.
Okay. And if I were to tell you that he'd been making that revelation since 2000 or 2015 or 16, would that be consistent with what you know as well?
Objection, Your Honor. Stating facts, not in evidence.
Sustained.
Do you have a time frame as to when Chad started making that revelation? Any idea?
Since I got to know him at least in 2017, I would say between 2017 and 2018.
I honestly think this, Sherilyn, and I don't know this by any means, so guys, please don't take this with a absolute. I feel like Chad has abused his entire family mentally, and I don't know what he was doing, but obviously he has a manipulation gift. And he's been very manipulative for so many people for so long. So I do think that maybe he even could get people to agree with him on things that are completely untrue. Like you can't stand behind him after hearing this evidence. Even hearing him in that phone call, you couldn't say, oh yeah, well, he didn't know. Or, I mean, it's just like there's too much stuff for us to say that this is crazy stuff. And who goes to a conference and tells everyone in that group, I've always felt like my spouse was going to die early? Who the hell has the presence of mind to even say that? Would you not be praying against that? Would you not want to be with your spouse for the rest of your life? That's the point.
Okay. And that's when you first learned of it?
Yeah.
Okay. That may not have necessarily been when Chad started, expressing his vision about seeing that sort of thing, right?
Can you rephrase that? I'm sorry.
Well, that's not necessarily you heard about it in 2017 or believe that's when you thought it was starting, but it could have been earlier than that, right?
Could have been.
Okay.
Speculation.
And do the only two people you know who have visions, Chad Daybell and your husband?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Overruled.
Are the only two people you know who have visions, Chad Daybell in your church, the LDS faith, are the only two people you know who have visions, Chad Daybell and your husband?
No, there's others.
Okay. And it's not an unusual thing, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, I do want to go to an area that I think I've heard you discuss before. And you talked about it when the prosecuting attorney was talking to you, Miss Blake. You used the phrase, and I need you to explain this for me. You used the phrase energy work.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I don't understand that very well. So could you explain to me what energy work is?
Yes. My exposure's been that when you have a practitioner that is communicating with you or your body, they have a certain method that they use through like muscle testing, which, if you want to explain that, but anyway, muscle testing, and they ask the body questions about what's going on in your body physically, spiritually, emotionally,
They ask your
mentally.
body questions about what's going on in your body? She either is misspeaking or I am like literally, I feel like I'm in math class right now doing long division backwards. So that her explanation to me didn't make sense. Maybe I'm wrong.
And then they find different ways to help you feel better by just their different methodologies that they would communicate. It's kind of fun. I don't really know how to explain it very well, but
That didn't make a lick of sense. I didn't understand anything you said.
Well, we'll work through that a little bit just so we kind of maybe try to make it a little easier for everybody to understand. So methodologies, meaning prayer,
You lost me.
Well, maybe some people prayed, sure.
Meditation?
No,
I don't know.
energy.
Okay.
It's possible for some people.
No.
I haven't had that experience.
Okay, something you've talked about
Yeah,
in
why don't you
previous
tell us your experience? That way we understand the definition.
interviews with a number of different people is vibrations.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about what the concept of, in terms of energy work, what are vibrations?
To my understanding is vibration would be more like a frequency of your body, just like music has a vibration and energy to it. And so it has a certain megahertz. And so that vibration can have a certain positive or a negative way of expressing itself.
Okay, so it's not something that's a divine revelation to you. It's not something that you feel as part of a spiritual thing. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, some people describe spiritual things as vibrations. So it just depends on the person.
Well, you've practiced this vibrations, have you not?
Well, I don't know that I don't know what you mean by practice it.
Right, you utilize it.
I'm not really sure what that would mean for me. Utilize vibrations. I don't know.
How do you know so much about it and you've never ever participated in all of this? Because all you guys were doing was seancing.
Make reference in a number of interviews about the concept of vibrations. Are we talking about music or are we talking about something with religion?
I'm just talking about in general.
Everybody's just fucking vibrating, huh?
Vibration is an energy that people have around anything that, the world has a vibration. People have vibrations. It's just a frequency that's put off.
And is that frequency giving you any sort of religious message or any sort of revelation of any kind?
No, not for me. Maybe for others, but not for me.
So it's your position that it wasn't doing that. So these ideas and these concepts about light and dark, and we talked a great deal about light and dark. Is that something that's inconsistent with the LDS faith?
Inconsistent, yes.
Okay, so the LDS faith doesn't talk about light and dark.
No.
There's no discussion about that.
Well, I mean, I think Christianity talks about Jesus Christ being the light of the world, and that darkness would be associated with Satan. So if you want to say that, yeah.
Okay. So if someone were to be practicing techniques as they relate to light and dark, or make comments about being able to tell if someone's light or dark, that's something that's inconsistent with the LDS faith.
Yes.
And that's not something you would ever do, right?
No.
You would never.
That's not something you would ever do. She did do it.
Or engage in conduct that would
vibrate.
Trying to determine whether someone's a light person or a dark person, right?
Well, I didn't have the ability to know how to do that.
Okay.
But
and did you ever teach that?
Light or dark? I don't know if I shared it with anybody. I'm not sure.
Well, I didn't say shared. I said taught.
That is sharing.
I don't recall.
Okay. Is it possible you taught light theory to people?
Oh, it's possible.
Is it possible you talked about dark theories to people?
It's possible.
Okay. But you don't remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. And I want to kind of lean into that a little bit about not remembering. Do you remember talking to Detective Moffat?
I want to lean into you not remember. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm just like so emotionally out of whack right now. Is this conversation just throwing anybody else off? Is this like going from point A to point B for you? Or am I just like, am I just tired? Because I feel like what I'm listening to is driving me insane because it just doesn't really make sense. It's not really like, I don't know how to explain how confusing and just unclear this entire conversation is to me.
The Arizona bound in Maricopa County some time ago when this case first started?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you remember talking to him about the fact that, you don't have the best memory in the world?
Yeah, I don't.
And the fact that you forget a lot of things?
Forget often.
Quite often, right?
I don't know. That's...
What is she, the girl from freaking First 50 Dates? Whatever it's called? Come on, bro. She's just agreeing with him.
Correct.
Well, what you told Detective Moffat was that ask anybody. I don't remember things very well. Do you recall telling him that?
It's possible I said that.
She says she doesn't have a good memory. How does she remember that? Oh my gosh. I don't know what I'm doing in life.
Would it help if I had played the recording for you?
No, it's not necessary.
It's not necessary, is it?
No.
Because you did tell Detective Moffat that you have a very difficult time remembering
this. If you guys seen Hangover, when the first thing that goes, we don't remember anything. Remember? That's exactly what this conversation's like.
Yeah.
And then you told him you have a difficulty getting facts and dates and times right, correct?
Yeah.
And that's not something that everyone has difficulties this, but you were particular with Detective Moffat in reminding him that you didn't always get the facts right or the dates right or the times right, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know that's not easy to acknowledge.
He's trying to make
now
you look like an idiot, and you're just saying yes.
In the conference in October, when Lori and Chad first met, Chad was there to sell books, right?
Correct.
Okay, now I understand that you've taken a jab at writing books as well, right?
A little bit.
You wrote, and I don't want to misrepresent. I know you wrote one book.
Right.
And when did you write that book?
Right about the time I finished it up, about the time I met Lori, so 2018, 2019.
And when did you start writing that book?
When?
When?
Probably, I would say sometime in the middle of the year 2018. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And please straighten me out if I get the title of the book wrong. I meant to bring it in and I didn't bring it in because I have a copy of it. It's called The Fire Within.
No.
Okay, tell me and I knew I was going to get it wrong. So correct me.
Feel the Fire.
Feel the Fire. I'm sorry, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of reading lately, so I may get it wrong. Feel the Fire is about your religious experiences and the things that you felt going through the development of your LDS faith, right?
Yes.
And you talked about your personal experiences doing that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then I kind of noticed that there was a discussion with one of the officers, and I think it was with one of the officers. You've interviewed a lot of people. You've spoken to a lot of people, right?
A few. Wouldn't say a lot, but a few.
Well, you've spoken to a lot of police officers, right?
I'd say a few.
Wasn't there a podcast called like Feel the Fire podcast?
Spoke to Officer Duncan, right?
Right.
And you've communicated with the Lieutenant Ball from up here.
Yes.
Lieutenant Hermosillo.
Yes.
You spoke with the prosecutor Rob Wood a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a frequent conversation with Prosecutor Wood, or was there some level of regularity with that discussion with Prosecutor Wood?
It was infrequent in the beginning, but yeah, just for a short period of time.
It was infrequent for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And we'll revisit that in a minute. But you also did an interview on TV with somebody.
Yes.
Do you recall that?
I do.
I'm cramping like a mug, bro. My abs are cramping. My back started to cramp. Gosh. Getting hit all at once. Oh, okay.
Do you remember when that was?
We might have to watch that interview, but I know it's long. I know it's super long. She's talking about with Nate. I'm 95% sure she's talking about Nate. 2000.
Let's see. 2000. No, I'm not recalling that exactly when that was.
Okay.
It's been so long. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And I know there's always, and if you would just bear with me. But we do know who you spoke to at that point, correct?
Right, correct.
Who was that?
Nate Eaton.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot about Mr. Eaton. You also spoke with Keith.
Yes.
Who was that?
He is one of the interviewers for Dateline.
Okay. And you gave a lengthy interview with him on a national audience interview. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as part of your preparation for that interview, were there any conditions put in place that you were not going to agree to talk about?
Maybe possibly, but I just can't recall what we talked about before.
Okay. And that was Keith Morrison from Dateline.
I think that was his name.
Okay.
Oh, go.
And you didn't know him
bro. You every time you say you don't know, you say their name perfectly as like you're acting like you're thinking of it, and the next thing you know, you're acting like you had no idea that you think that that's right. How did you pull that name perfectly out of your butt if you didn't know? Why is it mute?
Okay. And was there any discussion as part of that interview that your intent was to protect your church from exposing anything?
I don't know if that was my intention. I just shared whatever they wanted to ask questions about.
Okay. And at no time were you gearing that interview or any other testimony about having to protect your church?
I don't think that was the goal.
Okay. And that was never any discussion, right?
A little bit. We talked a little bit about it.
About protecting the church?
No, not protecting it.
Okay. So during the process of preparing for this case, you had an occasion at or around the time of the initial preliminary hearing to engage in discussions with Mr. Wood about your testimony. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. And that was started in about May of 2020. You recall that?
It could have been. I can't recall the date.
Okay. And it ended somewhere around November of 2020, right? You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Would it help if I showed you some correspondence between you and Mr. Wood to refresh your recollection, or do you remember having a discussion with him during that time?
I remember talking to him often. I mean, you can ask me what I shared, but I don't, the dates, I don't need dates.
Okay, you do remember that there was pretty consistent email communication for a 6-month period between the two of you, right?
Email?
I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I said email, didn't I? Text messaging.
There was some text messaging.
Some text messaging?
Yeah.
He's literally walking you like a dog through his questions, because you're just like, it's just crazy.
Surprise you to learn. And if we need to refresh your recollection, I can stop things. Judge, it'll take me a little while to get them hooked up. But would it surprise you to learn that between May 20th, May 6th of 2020, and November 4th of 2020, the two of you exchanged text messages between you over 340 times?
It's possible. I really don't know.
Okay. Would it help to refresh your recollection if I showed you all 340 of those text messages?
No, I mean, I know we communicated it. And
Okay.
You got what you got.
Okay. And you acknowledge that during that time, there was a considerable amount of communication between you and Mr. Wood. Would you agree with that?
I'd say it was more often in the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. Would you dispute that there were 340 texts?
I don't know. It's
Okay.
possible. I really don't know.
And one of my concerns is that about that communication is
Objection, Your Honor. I'd move to strike the narrative that started that question.
Sustained.
at any time during that communication with Mr. Wood, did you suggest to him that you needed to protect either a person or an organization as part of whether or not you were going to testify or what you were going to testify to?
No.
You don't remember that?
No, I didn't. No, what I'm saying is no, I didn't. My intent was not to protect anything other than to share what I knew.
Okay. Okay. So if I were to show you a text message that suggests something contrary to that, would that refresh your recollection?
I don't recall it, so I could care either way.
Judge, could we take just a short moment for me to, I'm not gonna be able to refresh a judge up on the screen, so I don't know how you want to do this. I can either bring her this laptop and show her the text message, or however you would like me to do that.
I am okay with you giving her your laptop to review the message, since it's to refresh her recollection. And if we can identify what she's looking at, I'll ask the state if there's any objection to that manner, and of course instruct the witness not to start playing around on the laptop.
And Your Honor, if we could approach just briefly.
Okay.
And then I'll lead it back.
I like the skips.
Safe scene. Just bring it. And Ms. Gibb, after you have a chance to read that, would you hand it back to the bailiff and have him return that to me, please?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Ms. Gibb, after you have a chance to read that, it's the third box down.
Right.
After you've had to read it, hand it back to the bailiff, and then we'll talk.
Hey guys, is at 2:23. We're gonna end this at 2:30 for the time right here, and we're gonna do 2 parts for her, just because it's a lot to process, and I know there's a big back and forth gonna come. So we're gonna end just this episode of this specific interview with her at a certain point, and then we'll pick it up tomorrow, just so you know.
About it, and if you could identify what was said and the date and time, I would appreciate that.
Cool.
So in looking at that, does that refresh your recollection about discussing protecting someone in this case?
That sounds familiar.
Okay, and in this particular instance, isn't it true that when you were communicating with Mr. Wood, you mentioned to him that you and Mr. Morrison want to make sure the church is protected, right?
Well, I think in my feeling, what it meant to me is that when we talked about these things, that we would share that this was not the teachings of the church. So that's what I meant by it.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that what you were trying to do is you were going to testify. It wasn't that you were trying to testify in a court of law or in talking with Mr. Morrison and not disclose too much about some of the secrets of the LDS faith. Is that what you're telling me?
No.
You were trying to protect some of the secrets of the LDS faith from being exposed?
No, I'm sorry. I guess it's the way you're phrasing it.
Okay. So in other words, what you're saying is that you were just wanted to be careful about what you said when you're talking to a prosecutor in a criminal case. Is that what this means?
I'm not sure how you're explaining it. That you need to be more clear with me.
Okay, I'll be really clear. You and Mr. Morrison sent a text to a prosecuting attorney, correct?
I don't know who sent that. I'm sure I'm not that text, even though I guess I didn't understand. Was I texting that to Rob? I'm not sure.
Well, Judge, I think what I'd like to do is have the bailiff come back up, take the document, have her look at it and see
About
who
5 more
who
minutes,
it was
guys.
from and who it was to. And then after you do that, we'll take a look again.
I'll permit that. So, Mr. Bailiff, if you'd please retake this paper, not yet admitted as an exhibit, but it is shown to the witness to refresh recollection. The witness may review again the text.
Okay. I just
And ma'am,
missed
when
that
you're
part.
done, just put it down because all we're allowed to do is refresh your recollection. Hand it back to the bailiff if you would, and he'll return it to me, ma'am.
What is your point?
And I'll just try to walk through this step by step if that's okay with you. You sent Rob Wood a text at that time, correct?
Yes,
And the text was from you to Rob Wood.
correct.
And in the text, you talked about Keith, the guy from Dateline, and I, right? And is that the Keith Morrison? Is that the guy we're talking about?
Yes,
Okay. I want to make sure the church is protected. You recall that?
yes,
He has done a good job so far. That's why I feel comfortable talking to him. Is that what you said to the prosecutor?
I think so. Yes,
Okay. Is there any reason to dispute what I just read is not what you read just 2 minutes ago?
yes, that's fine.
So the question I have with that is, if what you're saying is that, well, you wanted to get the story right in terms of the beliefs of the LDS faith, why are you sending that to a prosecuting attorney who's prosecuting Chad Daybell?
Well, I don't understand your point. I don't get it. I don't know what you're trying to say. I'm very confused.
Are you finished?
I am finished. I'm waiting for an answer.
I felt comfortable talking to Rob to let him to know what I was doing. I just felt comfortable sharing that just to let him know what I was up to. Yeah.
So you were sharing with Rob Wood, the prosecuting attorney, that it's your intent to protect the LDS church with your testimony, right?
I guess you could say that.
Okay.
That wasn't the whole point of the interview, but
I understand that.
Yeah.
The point of this text was that, right?
I guess so.
Stop saying he's just walking you, bro. He just literally is letting you, you're literally just handing back an answer. So he's right. That's all I'm saying.
And the 340 other texts between May 6th of 2020 and November 4th of 2020, were those just to say hi?
No.
Okay. So in other words, what was happening here is that there was at least some sort of a relationship built between you and this prosecutor about how and when and where you were going to testify about things in this case. Is that right?
No.
Objection, Your Honor, misstates the testimony.
And this was about a interview with Keith Morrison, not her testimony here.
Sustained.
The point of all this communication between you and Mr. Wood, the prosecuting attorney in this case, was to establish how you planned on testifying in this case and what you were going to say.
No.
It wasn't the established reason why I communicated with him.
And it was just a coincidence then that you happened to mention your church and how you were going to protect your church to the prosecutor who was going to be calling you and examining you as a witness in this case. That's just a coincidence, right?
Objection, Your Honor, argumentative.
Sustained.
Judge, I'm going to need to move for admission of exhibits 6 and 7. These were previously stipulated by the parties. Part of the agreement.
All right. I lied to you. We're going to stop right here because it's before they admit new evidence and we can keep going. We've been doing great about just having one video per, day. But we will get back to it tomorrow. Just look through the community tab. I've been posting them for you guys so you can see them and they're up front. Anywhere between like 11 to 12:30 has been a good time for us. That's 12. It's Mountain Standard Time, Phoenix. So you guys know. I'll get back to it. I have a lot to process here. Obviously, it's just so much, and there's a lot more to be done here. And I feel like I'm starting to lose the ability to really truly listen and pay attention because it's just been a lot. So. Just the last 3 days have been overwhelming, and I really want to thank you guys for being here. We are going to finish out, I think it's, what day is it? Is it Wednesday or Thursday? It's Thursday. We're actually going to be done for the week tomorrow on this with the trials, and we'll pick it back up next week and keep going through it. So tomorrow's going to be our last day. Before I do forget, please, guys, you have till the 15th to enter the giveaway. So go look on the community tab. and look for the instructions on that giveaway so you guys can win before Christmas.